Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come in and sit down because today we're diving into the cringe-inducing world of millennial core. Now see, I'm a Gen Xer. Growing up with the Gen Yers or the millennials, you could tell there was a storm brewing. A storm built on Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the biggest proponent of what makes them millennials. Are millennials the worst generation?
Well, I'm a millennial, so no. I think boomers are. Everyone blames boomers for how the world is now.
Boomers?
Yeah.
What do you say, boomer? In recent years, there seem to be growing tensions between generations. Constant criticisms get thrown around, from Gen Z being coddled and lazy to boomers being responsible for ruining the entire economy.
They're selfish.
They're shellfish. Though these debates will likely never end, one thing's for sure. Millennials are getting hit from all angles. It is an impossible battle. You're going to lose, all right? I feel like the majority of my viewers are millennials. It's a losing fight. Give up. Millennials, or those born from 1981 to 1996, get told they're lazy and have weak work ethic from boomers. And some even blame them for ruining the economy. Meanwhile, we're now seeing more and more of Gen Z go after them as well for being obsessed with nostalgia, being out of touch, and worst of all, being cringe. Which, listen, generational hate, it just happens. It comes with the territory. It's like being fans of a sports team. You have your home team and then you hate everybody else. That's what it's supposed to be. Who's gonna win? And inevitably, the oldest knows that they're not gonna win because they're dying. The youngest is always the one that's gonna win because of their whole lives ahead of them. And now millennials are in this spot where life has kind of kicked them around a bit. And there's still a little bit to go. Maybe your kids hate you. Maybe you're divorced. These are all possibilities for millennials right now. All right?
Student loan, your $200,000 student loan.
Student loans, and now you doing random sounds with your random facial expressions or doing really cringe content in your car, which millennials love to just sit in their driver's seat of the car and perform Jim Carrey inspired comedy sketches. Or baby. That's another big thing. Millennial women love to do like the baby thing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm a little baby.
Horrible. You know, we're just a quick, I have a little pipe bomb here of millennial cringe. Every once in a while, if I do this, that means I'm gonna hit you with a millennial cringe pipe bomb. Uh-oh, here comes one now. It's horrible, isn't it? I'm blinded. And I'm like, get me out! Get me out! Millennials are the new boomers, and the roasting has reached its peak, with Gen Z now labeling their embarrassing antics as millennial core. Millennials seem screwed no matter what they do in any situation, and today we're gonna ask the question, is the recent criticism towards millennials warranted? Are they the worst generation? And is millennial core the worst thing to happen since, I don't know, the plague? Short answer, yes, it is. It's very bad. They are very, very cringe, and nobody is contesting this, so let's laugh at them together. Right? First off, how many millennials do you think are gonna watch this and get very offended? It's almost like a race war. You ever notice that? The Latin Kings versus another thing. It's very much like that, where like millennials will be like, so they're trying to cancel Eminem, huh?
Now listen up, Gen Z, because I've had enough of it. This whole cancel culture. Damn, y'all are so sensitive.
Good luck with that.
I hope every single millennial watching this gets pissed off and writes a horrible, hateful comment.
And then actually, if you are a millennial, leave nothing but hate comments. Don't dislike the video.
Yeah,
we don't want to.
No.
We don't want to hurt the video. We're just saying that, you know, it'd be funny if someone comes to this video and then there's just 10,000 comments of someone being like, "This is ridiculous." First off, trying to cancel Eminem. I doubt it.
Listen, little kitties, let me make this quite clear. This man was around even before you were here.
Well, the rim's some shady. Please stand up. Really gotta get our mojo flowing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one.
It's very sad and quiet. But first, we should ask ourselves, what in the hell is millennial core? The term millennial core comes from younger people reacting to how simply cringe millennials are in literally every way imaginable. There's no way out of it. In every way, millennials are cringe. Now, of course, every generation is bound to become cringe at some point, but sometimes it seems like millennials are fundamentally, objectively cringe no matter how you look at it. It's almost like a sport. It's almost like it is some kind of contest that they are trying to win. It's what they love. They love to be cringe. But I think it's because they were raised on movies, once again. Really blame the Jim Carrey effect, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s comedies. Look at them. And then look at how people, of course, they're emulating what they saw.
That's what I used to do. I used to watch just rom-coms and then copy to pick up women.
Name one example.
Well, this isn't like picking up, but you know how...
Oh, that's already, you're going back on what you said. But...
Gone Girl, there's a scene where...
Okay, first off, not a rom-com. Well, I just want to put just immediately, Gone Girl is not a rom-com, okay? It's a tragic, that's a horror movie, basically, but go ahead.
I forget why he does it, but he like grabs her chin and pulls her in and kisses her. We went and saw Gone Girl, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that. And I thought it was cute.
How did it work?
It didn't work.
Yeah.
She didn't text me back after.
Yeah. Did she fake her death and everything too? Yeah. Well,
I used to work with her. She didn't show up for work.
hope you're alive. This video is sponsored by Helix Sleep. A well-lived life starts with rest, and nothing feels as good as waking up on a mattress that's made for you. So many of us are getting it wrong from the start because it all starts with your mattress. If you want to have the energy and focus you need to be productive each day, you need to be getting proper sleep. So why don't you get the Helix Sleep mattress to try? Helix has 20 unique mattresses all set to serve a specific purpose. If you're too hot at night or if you sleep on your side, they want to know. Before you get a Helix Sleep mattress, you take a sleep quiz to find out the perfect blend of what you need. You're finding your dream mattress. So people with back pain might need a different mattress than someone who prefers a firm mattress. This quiz is very quick, but it takes your answers and recommends the best choice for you. I'm getting my best sleep on my Dusk Luxe mattress. It serves my particular needs, and I have been getting deep, restful sleep each night. And it's amazing how much sleep can affect your mood and energy. I'm a bundle of joy. I'm getting more work done, and all it took was a few minutes to find out what I was missing. If you're not in the market for a new mattress right now, but you wish you could improve your old one, Helix offers the perfect solution with their range of mattress toppers. They can extend the life of your old mattress and upgrade the comfort while not having to worry about replacing it. Or maybe you've got a Helix Sleep mattress already, but you want to improve your guest bed. Grab a mattress topper and tell them we sent you. Get the sleep you deserve.
Visit helixsleep.com/papameat to take advantage of their Cyber Monday sale extended and get 20% off site-wide.
Thank you so much to Helix Sleep for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video. We've talked about Disney adults on this channel a lot. I talk about Disney adults more than I talk about my own family because it's fascinating. If I could go to school for sociology or something, or anthropology just on Disney adults, I would.
I would take that class.
I would absolutely take that class. I'm gonna look like, when I'm older, I'm gonna look like the Jurassic Park guy, except I'm gonna have just a giant 70 acres of just obese Disney adults.
And then instead of like having a mosquito in that orb, it's gonna be the Mickey ears.
It's gonna be a half-eaten bit of like a churro that someone ate, whatever. And I'm like, this has DNA on it, Sonny.
So wait, if you made a park, would it be a park filled with Disney adults?
It would still literally just be the wilderness.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd be walking around. But it would be like something where like everything's made of churros and they'd still have the fans that like make things smell like cinnamon and stuff. And there'd be like one CRTV that's playing like Aladdin. That's what it'd be. And they would evolve him. They would be like the giant Disney adult with like a giant neck. Eating from a churro tree. Welcome. And the Disney adult phenomenon started with millennials refusing to let go of their childhood and making it their entire personality, right? People translating, that's why Disney adults are so fascinating, is it's translating trauma from your childhood, using your safety blanket, which was Disney movies, as your entire personality now. The thing that made you feel that good, trying to reject all the bad things. Listen, I'm not a psychologist, but I just nailed it right on the fucking head. All right? And one man claims that the cringe millennials you'll see online are the equivalent to anime kids you used to see in school back in the day, like Naruto running the lunch line, who's holding like a giant binder, the thickest binder you've ever seen, 3 textbooks running to the line as if it's gonna run out of food. Well, it's because I like have so many minutes to eat, so I like to make sure I get there first. Squirrely fucks. Okay, I'm gonna make a public service announcement.
Do it.
Also, public service announcement. If you have a child, tell them, be like, don't run to the lunch line. If anything, if you're there first, just wait a second. Let a couple people trickle in.
I didn't use a locker, so I put every single book in my backpack, and my backpack was like this.
Why didn't you use a locker?
I didn't get assigned one, and I never asked.
Why didn't you just ask for one if you want to sign
I
one?
was too shy, so I just lugged around a giant backpack.
You went to the principal. Grab the principal's chin. You ever seen Gone Girl? He's like, what the hell? Yeah, they probably thought that you were like one of those army kids.
Oh, the ROC?
The ROTC kids, whatever. They had like the military backpack and you had combat boots on. You were like walking through the school. That's who they were. Kept trying to Gone Girl all the lunch ladies. Rubbing their chin hairs and stuff. Naruto running the lunch line and making animal noises when getting too close, right? Basically what we call autism now, which we weren't really savvy on back in the day, which is true. You sat there, a girl would come to school with cowboy boots on and claim that she was a witch and cast spells at people. We called that person that was rude. That's not even me saying that now, that's me reflecting and being like, that's just what happened. Is that nice, Nick? No. As a child though, can you comprehend what that can do to somebody?
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh,
Right?
No.
No, you can't. You can't. All you can do is you're just watching MTV. I'm watching Next on MTV, and I'm just being like, oh, yeah, that person is rude.
Yeah, I'm watching, what is it? The Disney Channel, the cool one.
Disney.
There's another.
Oh, Disney XD?
Yeah, Disney XD.
Yeah, the cool one. Wait, what was the cool Disney? Were they the ones who did the... Come here, Minnie. When you're the most documented generation to exist, it's only a matter of time before every aspect gets picked apart. The millennial whoop, for example, is a cliche that gets made fun of often. Gen Z referring to the melodic pattern tons of millennials pop songs use, where they shout things like, whoa, during choruses rather than using actual words, right? Remember Fun? That was fun. Remember that? The worst generation of music, I will say by far, is from like 2009 to like 2013. Awful.
Name one song.
One bad song?
Yeah.
I mean, any fun song, any Imagine Dragons song. I'm feeling it in my bones. Do you know which actually song fucking pissed me off the most, for being honest? The one that was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So follow close, my dear.
It's like a Mice and Men or something. Or
Is that what
Monsters
what
and Men?
of my that one pissed me off to no end. Retrospectively, I can look back and appreciate LMFAO a little bit just for what it was. But I remember in the moment, I was like, get me the fuck out of here with these goofy fucks. CeeLo Green's fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
When I was younger, when I was like a fat little boy, I was like, like twerking to it. Fuck you. That was me. But now looking back at it, horrible.
Huge millennial core energy right there. That
Yeah.
song.
I see you drive around town with the girl I love, and I'm like,
Forget you. It's big old girls and big old boys listen to that too. Word. As if like that's their thing. The people who rejected them, that's what they're thinking. And I'm like, it isn't definitely that you're a donkey tooth fat fuck. I'm like, look in the mirror. Fuck you. You broke my heart. I'm trying to think if there's any more songs actually.
Katy Perry's California Girls.
California Girls was terrible. I like Dark Horse. I like the Extraterrestrial.
I like Katy Perry.
I didn't like Fireworks though.
Oh, I like Fireworks.
I didn't like Fireworks. That one pissed me off.
But did you like All American Rejects?
I had a Rhapsody MP3 because my family didn't want to buy me an iPod. And it came with that song. When darkness turns to light, it ends tonight. If that's millennial core, then I'll be millennial core all day.
I remember listening to that song and I said, this is the greatest song ever.
It's so deep. I think my Rhapsody, I think I had 4 songs on it. I didn't have internet, so I could only get it whenever I went to my friend's house. And then they were like, what? Is it just iTunes? And I'm like, no, it's a Rhapsody. And I had like, it took forever to get songs on it. So I had the All American Reject song. I had Chevelle, I Get It. Good one. And then I had Mudvayne's Dig. And then I think I had Crocodile Rock, Bell and John.
Very diverse.
Very strange for an obese little boy to have, if I'm being honest. My dad thought I was gay for the longest time when I was younger. Did I tell you about this? I thought I was gay, and then in high school, or then in college, I told him I was gay. It's a whole story, it doesn't matter, but yeah. He sat there looking at my phone, my Rhapsody, and he was like, Mudvayne cool, and he's like, Elton John, Crocodile Rock, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, yeah, la 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 la. Big fucking little ape titties. La 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 la. Yeah, dude. You can keep or remove it. I don't know. You can do whatever you want with this. There are also millennial pauses, which refers to when an older millennial films themselves and pauses for 1 to 2 seconds as their brains register that the video is recording so they can start talking. You know, a lot of people call that prep work, but it is the millennial pause where before they go, they do, hey, how's it going, man? You see it a lot in cameos. Cameos is a big thing. Sarah. Millennial pause. I think that literally because movies back in the day, like a newsroom would be,
Oh.
I legitimately think that's what the millennial pause originates from. Is the guy be like, 3! And then the person starts talking. Versus new generations that grow up like, oh, when I click this, it's immediately going. So I can be like, hey, how's it going? Immediately. I think people are like, I need just a second to prepare. Because also, too, I think that they jump the gun. So when they start recording, they cut themselves off. So it'll be like, hey, Sarah, but it'll be like, Hey, Sarah.
Gotcha.
Or whatever. I feel like I'm really dissecting this whole phenomenon
you are
pretty good.
Yeah.
Younger generations look at these people as geriatric or technologically inept, despite being one of the first generations to fully grasp the technology, which isn't fair because in the millennial generation, you have to understand there was probably 25 waves of technology. Home phones, wireless phones, wired computers, wireless computers, laptop. I mean, it was fucking everything. I remember someone was just like, yeah, it's a trackpad. And I was like, what? It's like, so you just use your fingers for it. And I was like,
Did you have an IBM computer? The little red thing in the middle?
I hated that. Those are still kind of around.
People love those. They say they're
The
way better.
ThinkPads. That's what they're called.
ThinkPads, yeah.
Which is what every car salesman has. There are just some minor grievances that a lot of people have, but the most egregious offense of millennials comes when we dive into millennial humor. This would not be a thing, honestly, if the millennial humor was not the essence of hate. I think people would get past the millennial pause, and then people would be more empathetic. But because of the millennial humor, it ruins everything. It spoils the bunch, right? It's like the new generation of kids that have brain rot, Italian brain rot, all that kind of stuff, mixed in with like the really, really bad dad jokes of Gen X, or just like really shitty humor of Gen X, whatever, but it's mashed together.
Yeah.
Right? It's the afterthought of that generation and the begin thought of the next generation. So it's like getting brain rot done wrong. And it's also like being offensive or stupid, like in the afterthought, while trying not to offend anybody. Because it's almost like they learned from that generation, be like, well, that's a bit much. So they like censor themselves coming in here. And then like they're not doing the funny, fast quip stuff enough. So it's just this, it's just this gelatinous. For example, millennial humor often revolves around self-deprecation, leaning on how miserable one's life is as the punchline. While people living in a stressful world can see this as relatable, many chastise it for being a downer or even just like a little pity party, right? I think a lot of people see millennial humor in this way as like someone's looking for attention online. I'm putting the joke at me so people can be like, no, and coddle you. In the throes of a young person online who obviously feel like the world is ending and that everyone else is stupid and they're smart. So when they see this older person doing this, they're just like, why don't you get the f off the internet, old man? Why don't you go talk to a therapist or join the army or something, bitch? That's usually what happens. Another thing millennials often do is act like a fucking baby. All right, babyfying their speech and acting like children despite paying rent and suffering from back pain, right? So they'll like take old person symptoms and be like, oh, my back hurt.
It's cute.
I'll save that for you. One adult woman claps and dubs her voice with a baby laughing as she throws the zero candle off her 40th birthday cake, and the comments label it with the dreaded millennial core label, while others reminded viewers that the woman is 4 decades old.
I hate this video.
It's one of the worst things ever, and then she claps and it's like the baby. It's, oh god. There's a lot of stuff too. I mean, I think we've already showed one of these before too, but it's like the girl with the pancakes and the IHOP doing that. That's millennial core. The phrase adulting, for example, is a common way to refer to doing anything you'd categorize as adult responsibilities. Yeah, I'm mowing the yard. I'm pretending I'm adulting this afternoon. This can range from the bare minimum of being an adult, from feeding yourself to doing your laundry. And most of the time, the joke is that adulting fucking sucks. I wish I could just be a kid. It's literally like a Peter Pan disease. I think the Disney adult thing, it will die with the millennial generation. Because I think millennials had like the quote unquote golden era of movies too and stuff and like properties. And now Disney hasn't done shit. I mean, what have they done?
Marvel.
Nah, I wouldn't count that as Disney. Like, Disney to me is like, it has to be like the Disney movie, not just like Marvel. And even Marvel, like,
Yeah, they're going down.
which you could granted, I think kids look at Infinity War as like one of the great, like people will be like, you know, you had to be there. It's gonna be a lot of that. My dad took me and we cried in the movie theater, like that kind of thing. So there will be that, but I just mean actual where it was like Disney every year was just like banger, 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 banger. Because a lot people are like, I don't give a fuck about Disney. They had their opportunity with Turning Red. Didn't land. Did not land that one. That could have been the time. I thought it would have.
Yeah, I guess it didn't.
It's a good back and forth. Some people find it to be cringe, but regardless, there is a plethora of adulting merchandise for sale across the internet, showing that millennials certainly still relate to it. If you see anybody that has adulting shirt with 1 star,
I hate the phrase adulting.
that might be my least favorite millennial core thing. It's horrible. The hat, adulting requires alcohol. Oh my God.
Do you think boomers made these? Or is this...
No, I think it's 100% millennials. Another insufferable form of baby talk is the insistence on making every word cutesy in the same way, like the phrase doggo or pupper. Once again, horrible. Also, my least favorite of all of them is the term small or small bean. Because don't forget, bacon and beans were the funniest thing to millennials back in the day. You would go over to the store to your homie's house and get beans?
With my spork?
Yeah. I really hated your laugh at that too. But the term small or small bean was also coined by millennials to describe anything that is innocent or adorable, right? My tiny doggo. Your tiny doggo is so small. He's a small bean. Those interactions were so common. Imagine like being a fly on the wall in an apartment. Just immediately fly into like into a
kill
gas
myself.
oven. Just immediately burn up. Look at that little fly. He's so small. In a viral video, one woman, speaking in a baby voice, joyously celebrates Taylor Swift's relationship with Travis Kelce, stating, "Taylor finally gets to be a small girl because Travis is a big boy." We've shown it like 7 times, but
Taylor Swift gets to be small girl with Travis Kelce because he is large boy and gets to be small girl.
it's one of my least favorite videos on the internet. I had to show it again. I fucking hate that video so much. People in the comments were horrified to see that this video wasn't satire and was in fact a genuine video of a grown woman talking like that, which granted you have to, you know, she's borderline, she's a Swiftie, but that gets some kind of pass. If anything, there's a better example out there of probably a normal person doing it and not just a brain dead cultist. Yeah. So what do you do? Most of the time, millennials behave this way in private with their loved ones. And occasionally, however, their infantile behavior spills over into the real life. A woman is filmed at Olive Garden telling the waitress she saw that you could buy their cheese graters on TikTok. She asked if she could buy one, and when the waiter says yes, she squeals to herself with glee, making an audible gasp when she finds out that it can be sold with the cheese. And then the worst part is she apologizes to the rest of the restaurant before shaking and laughing uncontrollably.
Do you want it? Yes. Sorry, everybody.
I don't know what it is about millennial women going to chain restaurants and having to act up. What's missing, Nick, in their life? It's the thing, the IHOP
boyfriend.
No, Nick, wrong. They definitely have somebody locked down. I think they're with somebody they don't like, but they got somebody. Maybe if anything, it's a pick-me girl kind of thing to do. Do you think it's a humiliation thing to get rid of this guy so they can get somebody new?
I honestly think they're trying to be cute. They're like, I'm gonna be cute and funny. Everyone's gonna like me. That's their quirk. They're quirky.
You know what's the tough thing too is I feel like all the women that do this kind of shit, they were like 6s in high school who thought that they were 10s.
Yeah.
And they never aged out of it.
No one told them they were ugly.
Yeah, they were a 9 in high school and no one told them, and then all of a sudden it's just the years battered down on them. That's probably really mean. Is this anthropological or is this just bullying? I don't know. Editor, Another millennial comedy crime that's committed very often is the use of obnoxiously overexpressive faces and movements. The Jim Carrey thing. All the people saw the Grinch movie or all that kind of stuff and they, you know. There's that one guy on TikTok, Garth. You ever see him? That's all he does. He doesn't even say the words. He's like, I think sometimes he's trying to lip sync, but he just looks like a psychopath. I don't know. He's like... It's very odd.
He just has audio playing over.
Yeah, but it's like I think he's trying to lip sync to it. I don't know. But people troll him.
I think it's called mouth chewing, right? Is that what it's called?
What else would you chew with? Would you have to call it mouth chewing? Perhaps because millennials grew up during the peak quirky humor, they often rely on almost cartoon-like behaviors and mannerisms, which back in the day, I know that we say Jim Carrey a lot, but it was a lot. I feel like there was a lot of stuff of people like very weird characters and movies and stuff that kind of were, I don't know, spastic and odd.
Now it's anime, the anime expressions.
Yeah, now the new version is the autistic people doing anime expressions and stuff, or like the dances and stuff. That kind of shit. To look, I think cool though. The difference is that the millennials think it's funny versus I think that the anime autistic people, like it's like, oh, it looks cool or it looks badass or hot, that kind of thing. Because that's like the response to a lot of animation is just that like, it's cute.
It's adorable. It's
right?
chibi.
Exactly. It's that kind of thing. One woman who goes by Auntie Lisa, for example, made a video expressing the intense joy she feels trying out the pumpkin spice cream cheese she found from the store, which I know Auntie Lisa online, I think she's kind of a beloved character, but I think she, in self-reflect, I hope that she would be like, it was a bit much. Or maybe it was just for the cringe and she likes the cringe take, but it was like pumpkin cream cheese, but she's like, which Auntie Lisa, she starts sniffing the pumpkin cream cheese and she like barks at it like a dog before slathering it onto her crispy bread and giving it a bite, which I think she even says a crispy bread.
For my crispy bread! I'm gonna eat my crispy bread right now.
A crispy bread.
Auntie Lisa appears to have basically a full-on orgasm while making a string of odd noises from eating the pumpkin cream cheese. It's funny. That's good
comedy.
stuff.
It's comedy.
That's legitimately what my mom thinks is funny. She would see that and she'd be like, oh my God, that kind of shit, fat people falling, and that Italian dude on Netflix is like her favorite thing ever. The guy where every punchline ends like this? Sebastian fucking Monacuco, or where the fuck his name is. Literally, he's just like, I take the keys from the thing, I put it down over here. Why do I want to put it down over there? My mom was like, yeah! Actually, let me see. Let me call her and ask her. Hey, Mom.
Hey.
What's the name of that Italian dude on Netflix that you think is really funny, the stand-up comic?
Sebastian Monaco.
Is he pretty good?
He's okay.
Okay. All right.
Am I on some freaking show right now?
Her other... She says that she likes my stand-up comedy, but then she says I'm just okay. It's every joke is like that. Auntie Lisa, her other videos, they're no different. She's seen going about her day, whether it's working or eating meals, and filling it with random bouts of bizarre sounds as if she's possessed by Jim Carrey. Which the comments on many of her videos seem to be from younger people claiming that she's peak millennial core and absolutely excruciating to watch, while others commend her bizarre behavior by saying she's cringe, but she is free. Which I want to say too, who gives a, it's your fucking social media platform. Do whatever the fuck you want.
She does that at work though. She like makes videos.
Yeah,
at work.
dude, because she's down to earth, man.
Don't do it at work though. When I'm working, when I'm on break.
You know what? More power to you. If you're working a fucking 14-hour nurse shift and you just want to do a little cringe pumpkin cream thing in the break room, I say good for you, man.
I think that's selfish. I think you need to think about everybody else in the room.
That's kind of true. Actually, that's true. If it's in a public space.
What if I've worked like a 12-hour shift and she's doing?
I mean, I would probably like, I'd slowly put my hands through my hair and I'd just start shaking probably. But at the same, I mean, I don't know. I see something like this and it's just, it feels more innocent to me.
Yeah, but just do it in another room.
That's fair. I would say that about any generations of shit. Don't do anything in a public workplace. God, there's a cream cheese. You're in the back room by the microwave, fucking heating up a lean pocket because you're trying to lose weight. Yeah. Oh, a spicy bread. You go, oh, pumpkin cream cheese. Spicy bread. Eating a fucking boiling hot lean pocket on the outsides and completely ice cold in the middle. Just sit in the background, just listening to it. Online, there are plenty of millennials who make whole careers off showing their renovations. Despite being known for focusing on childlike wonder and whimsy as adults, they sure love to make their homes look like something straight out of a goddamn asylum. And most of their homes have zero color and feel soulless. They love to rip out wood features and replace them with boring, cold marble and plastic. That's a big, big thing. Love the marble. Could you get it a bit more mute for me? Could you just turn down the mute it just a bit? Thank you so much. Mute it. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a single comment liking their work that isn't millennial. This applies to their businesses too. Earlier this year, there was a wave of people hating on millennial burger restaurants. And everyone knows what that is. You walk in, you're like, God. Out are the ways of the cool fast food establishments where they had a little bit of personality to stand out from each other, and now they all look like dentist offices.
Yeah, sterile.
They all have metal bar stools and call the appetizers and burgers shareables or handhelds. Pretty funny. Also, the bathrooms are usually like sitters and standers.
Oh, yeah.
One of those. Squatters and standers.
They're getting real creative with the signs, too. You can't even tell, like, what...
Can I go in there? You like, look at the sign. Most of the decorations are exposed brick, Edison bulbs, maybe signs that have quirky phrases that would make any person want to put a gun in their mouth. Need I digress? You're looking at 2 burgers for $60, Nick.
That's a steal.
And oh God, but they're good. Is this local? It's good.
Is this grass-fed?
Okay, this is awesome. What is that, truffle butter? Can I have the burger in small? How many times do you think that's probably been said a lot, dude? I'll have an order of the small fries.
I bet you there's a coffee place where, yeah, you get the small.
It has the standard like grande, tall, and venti, and then there's a small.
And a chungus, a big chungus.
My heart. Yeah, I'll take a venti decaf coffee. And what would you like, sweetheart? I think I'd like a Chungus black coffee. The caffeine monster's making me go crazy. horrible.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I seriously, I feel sick to my stomach. It's only natural for millennials to be poked fun at for their cringe behavior, which has led to an ongoing beef between millennials and Gen Z, and the results have been downright nauseating. Most adult millennials can't help themselves from being out of touch, but still attempt to make videos where they attempt to own the youngins, right? Hey, them kids don't know. You don't know what it's like to work with your bare hands. I love what that's what millennials say sometimes. You don't know what it's like to work with your bare hands, kiddos. It's like, what did you do? You worked at a Subway. Yeah, in the mines, basically. Don't think I forgot about that. Oops, you dropped this. A woman would post a video of herself taunting Gen Z for how much better their lives were because they didn't have all the futuristic smartphones and were obsessed with social media, as they post this to social media, mind you.
There were no cell phones. There's no social media. We literally lived a life as teenagers that I would call fuck around and find out.
The woman stops for a moment, looks away, and sincerely says, God, it was fucking epic.
God, it was fucking epic.
I hate Epic. I'm so glad that's gone.
Epic and Banff. All right, that's Banff.
Epic for the win.
Lay Epic. The lay stuff, I fucking hate the...
I'm pretty sure Reddit was like the breeding ground for millennial
Reddit's the
core.
breeding ground for almost all of Earth's misdeeds. Almost all of Earth's misdeeds is caused by Reddit, 100%. Reddit and Twitter. If those two were gone, I sincerely believe that like the world would be a better place.
World peace. Yeah, I agree.
I do. I legitimately believe if Reddit and Twitter were gone, healing would happen. It would be amazing. Bring back
Zanga.
Yeah, only with Zanga will the world heal. The younger generations continue to beat down this aging horse by posting ruthless videos parodying millennial humor, filled with all the expected cringe mannerisms and unnecessary dance breaks. The youngins, they'll always win. The young people will always win. They're revolting against something that they truly hate. You know, people like to throw around the word punk a lot. To me, that's what the punk movement is. It's just younger generations being like, I fucking hate the older establishment. That's all it is. It will always be that way. Even if it comes across as the most juvenile bullshit, it's still gonna win. It will every time. Also, think to yourself for a second. Well, let me just say this. As you grow older, one of the saddest things you can do is hold on to the past, right? It's just true. No matter how cool and epic you thought your generation was, there will always be a newer and younger group of people who just think that you're fucking embarrassing. That's just the way it will go. And the generations making fun of you, they're gonna get made fun by the generation that comes after them. It's a tale as old as time. And all you can do is keep to yourself for your own good. If it makes you feel better, know that the cringe comes from us all. So let the younger people enjoy the moment while it lasts, because the cringe is coming for them. And I will say, the millennial mark is the torch runner for every future generation. Millennials are the first people to know what the internet is and basically be the guinea pigs for every fucking giant company that's been experimenting with social media and all this stuff. Products, all kinds of shit they're thrown into your hands. So of course they're gonna be the brain dead bastard child of this new wave of technology to our downfall, basically. So just know that though the millennials might be cringe lords, they're like cavemen. Without them, we would not have fire. We would not have the wheel.
Do you remember when memes were just pictures of animals with text?
Memes would be pictures of animals with top text and bottom text. Also Conspiracy Keanu, Velociraptor. These were the funniest things on fucking Earth. But you know why it was funny? Because the older person next to you would be like, what is this? And you'd be chortling and sniffing and laughing at yourself because you were on some stupid fucking website that only people your age were on. And that was like the magic of the moment. Now it's outdated and it's shitty. And
cringe.
also too, kids are just smart.
Yeah.
Kids are creative and quick-witted and fucking smart because of this like quick response internet age thing. So of course there's gonna be a millennial pause because we had dial tone back in the day. You guys will never have to deal with dial tone. That kind of shit. I don't know. It's just interesting. But I will die on this hill by saying that millennial core is the worst. Maybe we're millennial core, Nick.
I do unironically now say plox.
Nick says plox. Daily. I think it started as a joke, but now I think he like actually gets pleasure out of it. Like he comes just a little bit every time. So that's fun. So maybe we can just, if anything, if we're millennial core, maybe we can be your guilty pleasure. Until next time, guys, we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Coming on Sun Down because today we're going to be talking about the wild world of VR chat.
Jack, have you met Titan? This guy likes poop.
Even if I did, I would not tell you.
I saw you on a poop fetish server. I saw that.
Dare I ask which one?
We all need a little escape from our busy lives. For many, this means taking up a new hobby, perhaps cooking or learning an instrument. But for those who want a much more immersive escape, virtual reality seems to be the way to go. While virtual reality had an explosive rise back in the day, its mainstream media presence presence seems to have mellowed out a bit. Now, don't let that fool you, because there is still a massive dedicated community of VR users spending almost all of their time in these virtual worlds. One of the most popular and fascinating examples is VR Chat, a heavily social game that allows people to take part in a vast variety of unique games and events. The game's player base has seen non-stop rise ever since its release in 2014. Many people have an idea of what VR Chat is like, but let me tell you, there's so much going on beneath the surface. That includes the strange, seedy, and degenerate side of things. So first, let's see what it is about the game that people seem to love so much. VR Chat is a giant social platform. Despite having tons of unique games to play, people primarily focused on meeting people and going to social events and sex.
I go to a nudist group, and there you can be naked and you can get by people there.
This in VR Chat?
Yeah, in VR Chat.
Oh wow.
Yeah, lots of sex.
Mostly sex. It's a lot of sex. I'm gonna say it's a lot of that. All right. While people may poke fun at the image of a group of anime characters hanging out in a virtual bars, as opposed to just doing the same thing in real life, this virtual setting seems to greatly help people come out of their shell. Right. A lot of socially awkward people who don't want to be around strangers can go to these virtual settings and get the same experience and maybe open up a bit. Maybe this is a growing pattern for them. I don't have to leave my house.
I don't have to change or take a shower.
I can be stinky and I can beat my and no one can call the cops.
I can be rock hard and no one's
I
gonna
can
know.
be rock hard and no one would know.
Unless you put a little sensor down there in your model.
What is that? Hatsune Miku, what is that? This extends beyond just being shy or introverted. Those who are neurodivergent or on the spectrum find that they are much more comfortable and able to excel in social situations when they have more control in their social environment, which does make sense. People that do, you feel like you have a bit more control when you almost have like an escape button by just taking your thing off you if you need to. Which for some people, Nick, that's a big step. Not everybody can be social butterflies like us.
Oh, that's why I take Valium.
It also helps alleviate the self-consciousness people feel due to their physical appearance, allowing them to focus more on making connections with people through personality than looks. People getting out of their own way is essentially what that is. Listen, I am a smooth-looking man, and I never care about what I look like in front of people.
In VR Chat, you can be whatever you want. You can be a f***ing dragon.
And I am a dragon. And in VR Chat, I get to be that. And that helps me actually connect with people on a personal level versus worrying, are they looking at how large my apish man tits are? Are they just looking at how rotund my hips are? They're here because it's me.
And then you got a sick-ass model.
And I am a dragon, which does help. There have been studies that show that virtual reality games provide a noticeable positive impact to the mental and physical well-being of people who are dealing with intense loneliness. This was especially true during the pandemic, where people were trapped at home and unable to meet face-to-face with their friends. And according to one of these studies, many people found that VR Chat greatly improved their ability to communicate with strangers in the real world, making a lasting impact on them, which I feel like, especially during a time with a mandated isolation like the pandemic, you're gonna find that it's like, oh, this is actually real connections. I feel like that must be the barrier at first, is people being like, I mean, it can't even be that real. But then I feel like when people go in and they experience it, they're like, oh, this feels like just as normal as going out and like meeting people in real life.
I think people have some like phantom VR. If you're in VR too much and when you take it off, you feel weird, like something's missing.
Well, that's a big thing. I hope we touched on it. Phantom pain.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. Keep your ears open and your holiday playlist rolling with Raycon's Essential Open Earbuds. These open ear earbuds let you stay connected to your surroundings while enjoying your favorite music, videos, and podcasts. Raycon's Essential Open Earbuds keep your ears open while still delivering crystal clear sound, so you can stay aware of traffic and other surroundings without sacrificing sound quality. We're doing construction up at the studio, and it's helpful to know if there's something to watch out for. Watch out! Or if somebody's trying to talk to me as they pass through the area. Hey, look out! But the open earbuds are not just for work. They're for play, too. They're perfect for a jog or a workout. And their super lightweight design means that they won't slip out when things are moving fast. Open earbuds. Plus, Raycon has multi-point connection allowing you to switch from your phone to a tablet or PC with ease. But the best part is that Raycon delivers premium audio quality at half the price. Plus, the open earbuds case has a 36-hour battery life, giving you non-stop listening throughout your day. These earbuds are all you need this holiday season, whether you're getting a gift or just something nice for yourself. Join over 3 million customers that love Raycon and try them for yourself. The essential open earbuds are here for the holiday season, and they're selling fast. Raycon audio products are up to 20% off this season. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/PapaMeatOpen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. Order by December 15th to guarantee delivery by Christmas, because great gifts shouldn't show up late. Thank you so much to Raycon for sponsoring this video, and now back to the video.
You may be wondering, what do people actually do in VR chat?
Whoa. What the fuck? What is happening?
I will admit, Toasted, you are very adorable.
How come he can play with your feet and I can't?
We can't really say what a lot of them do, but similar to Roblox, the worlds of VR chat are user-generated, meaning there are endless possibilities. A big part of this VR chat experience is the nightlife. From casinos to nightclubs and even fully immersive raves, there are endless ways to party with your online friends.
Ever been to a silent disco?
I've never been to a silent. I've seen people do a silent disco, and I'm like, nah.
I saw one at Coachella, and I was like, I want to try that.
Did you do it?
No. I was always, because it was always at the end of the night, and it's like on the walk of shame back to your tent, and I was always tired.
Why is it a walk of shame?
You're drunk and high, and like did some shameful things in there, smelled some things you weren't supposed to smell.
VR. With any immersive experience, there's always the chance that someone may become too attached to what it has to offer. For some, this has resulted in a full-on VR chat addiction. It's not hard to stumble across someone who has racked up an absurd amount of hours in VR chat, the same way that any other person would rack up hours on World of Warcraft or any other game out there, right? One Redditor boasts that his friend has spent literally thousands of hours in the game, mostly engaged in cuddle groups, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Just a little relaxed time. We just hosted Guiltech's first Cuddle Club meetup where we could sit on the couch and enjoy giving each other head pats.
Yeah, that is a person that desperately needs physical attention. They need affection big time.
Hug?
Do you think that people that have things where it's like, my parents didn't hug me a lot when I was a kid, do you think that you gravitate towards that? Or is it just someone where you grow up and you find you're like, I actually just feel like I needed that, even though my parents gave it to me and now I don't have it and I feel like I need it?
That's a good question.
You know?
I think I could see it not being enough. Well, it's maybe not even in parents, it's just having friend groups.
Because my parents didn't hug me a lot or anything. So now I feel like when people are like, oh, come here, give me a hug. I don't like that. I'm always like, Mother, do you think that you should have hugged me more when I was a kid?
I hugged you all the time.
That's just absolutely not true.
And I would grab your head and kiss your head. It was huge. And yeah, it is true.
We don't need to talk about how big my head was.
It was huge.
Do you think that maybe Daddy should have hugged or kissed my big head more than?
Yes, your dad probably could have hugged you a couple times. Would have been a delight.
What about Grandpa Ernest, the one who shot the dog?
He was not a hugger at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. We don't need to talk. We don't need to get into that. I feel
your dad never kissed you on your lips?
My dad. I begged him to, but he didn't do it. No wonder. He's like, get that little freak away from me. But anyways, we'll get into the cuddle shit later, all right? Many describe their addiction to VR chat as unique and that people will spend so much time in the virtual world that they start to lose interest in real life. I feel like that's with any video game though, right? Do you think any video game or do you think just role-playing games?
Role-playing games, I think higher likelihood, because it's like if you get into it, you're like, I'm an orc, I'm saving people.
Even if you are like, I know that, even if you're like, I'm an orc, like not that, but if you're like, I prefer being in the cities of this game. Like even if you're like, I know I'm not this guy, but there's something that feels like home. Because I feel that's gotta be some shit. People that go to like a World of Warcraft city and they're like, this feels more home to me than my own hometown or something.
It's also a barrier too, because it's like, it's the digital world. This isn't the real you. So anything you do has no to low consequences.
Yeah, less consequences. So when you do something, yeah. But then at the same time, when you do something great, it feels just as good as something in real life. Yeah. One man vents his frustrations online about how his girlfriend eventually reached a point where she was playing basically the entire day. This started to have the opposite effect than previous studies suggest, with her becoming increasingly antisocial and anxious in real life. Eventually, even facing the Uber Eats driver to pick up food delivery became too much for her. I could see some of that, dude. I could see, well, also too, seeing somebody completely isolate themselves and they're wearing like a headset the whole day, that would be hard. But also too, yeah, if you're so used to this digital landscape that the physical world, I could totally see that being like, I don't even want to interact with real people. It feels too weird. Really do think that there is an idea of like, if something goes wrong in here, I can just leave. I can just hop to another room. Some friendships have even ended over an obsession with VR chat. According to one frustrated VR user, it only took 1 week of playing with his friend for things to go off the rails. This friend got sucked into the game, using it as a way to form multiple romantic relationships with strangers, and the dopamine he'd get from engaging with these women was incredibly exciting for him. I could definitely see that. A guy who doesn't get in real life and all of a sudden he's got a raccoon goddess and like a 7-foot tall tree imp woman, whatever. He's like, what up? The giant goggles on. Whoa. How much junk you got in that trunk? Believe it or not, we're gonna talk about VR alcoholism. Earlier, I mentioned that VR chat had a very active nightlife scene. While this can be a blast for people who want to occasionally hop on with their friends for a fun time, it can introduce a whole lot of problems. The main one being that partying in VR is incredibly accessible. There's no cover charged, overpriced drinks, or long waits. Any day of the week, you and your buddies can hop into a club or a rave and take shots from comfort of your home to let loose. And people, you would think that some people, because I think a lot of people will look at the digital nightclubs and be like, they're fake partying. People will just buy bottles of liquor and then just get drunk, and I actually feel like, and the more drunk you get, the more immersive it has to feel, right? Unlike real life, nobody gets cut off in VR chat. It doesn't help that those who drink with groups of people can sometimes be more socially awkward and succumb to social pressure easier than most. This results in people getting absolutely wasted more often than they ever would have offline.
I've been on here for like 2 weeks, like in this world, and I've just been getting drunk every night, so I'm like literally an alcoholic now because of VR chat.
There are endless examples of people online claiming that VR chat has turned them into full-blown alcoholics. Others recount seeing players in game that are clearly dangerously under the influence. And in one case, one user that goes to VR chat raves vents about how often he overhears people in a voice chat violently vomiting. And according to him, it can happen as much as 6 times in one night. Some even know of excess VR drinkers that have died from alcoholism. That's what I was gonna say. That would be the worst thing, is you hear somebody like having a like seizure from it, or like
their models on the ground.
Oh, literally though. Yeah. I mean, at first you'd be like, oh, that's funny. I don't know, Crash Bandicoots on the ground, like, but then you're like, oh, actually that's a real person dying in their apartment somewhere. That's fun. Hey, dude, turn up the sound. There are many people who play VR chat and are fairly wholesome and well-adjusted.
I have about 50 demons living inside me. It's not fun. It's nothing but chaos. All of them.
However, just like with any game, it is also home to all sorts of VR degeneracy. One of the most universally hated people in the VR chat are people known as crashers. Essentially, users who will purposely add effects to their avatar that are incredibly hard for people to PCs to run. The goal is to create weapons or character models with particle effects that, when used, overload the victim's GPU and ultimately crash their game. And some crasher gangs, God, what would you have nothing to do with your time? Some crasher gangs will find ways to target the same person across worlds and continuously crash their game until they eventually stop playing altogether, which I do think that kind of cyberbullying would f somebody up. If that's your only source of communication, I could see someone being like, or in any game, like if somebody got kicked from like World of Warcraft and they've been playing for how many years, I think that they would spiral. You'd have like a mental breakdown. This is far from the most degenerate thing to occur in VR chat. One man recounts how he witnessed a player have a real seizure in the game. I tell you, how was that? Instead of expressing any form of concern, everyone in the lobby just started making fun of his avatar flopping around until he eventually stopped. Did I not say that? Crash Bandicoot. I said that would happen. In one video posted to YouTube, a similar event occurred in which a player with a robotic avatar had an aggressive seizure, while anime children, Lugia from Pokemon, and Morty from Rick and Morty watched in shock. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh jeez, wow. We should actually seriously call someone for help. Be kind of fucked up, right?
You know, one of the most fuckable Pokemon is Lugia.
Okie dokie. In another instance, a VR chat player would make himself only visible to one individual player at a time in order to convince them that they had an extreme form of schizophrenia.
Yes! What games do you play? Main.
Well, shit. I play this. I just got. Oh shit!
What are you talking about, man? We're the only one here right now. One player admitted that they stopped playing the game for a month after meeting someone who claimed to be turned on by cannibalism and necrophilia. And later that night, the person admitted to a genuine desire to murder someone in order to watch the light leave their eyes. Which might be a joke, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I feel like there are some people like that out there. They'll just say that shit because it's the anonymity.
Do you want to kill your mom and your dad?
I mean, I think about it every night, but the one person in my head tells me no.
You know, they're dressed up as f***ing Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh! You ever just want to eat someone and watch the light fade from their eyes? They're just like, give me back Yugi's grandpa. Is how you did to Yugi's grandpa. VR chat players have long since used the platform to meet potential partners and engage in ERP, aka erotic role play. Dude, get me in. Tag me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Tag me. Most people are polite enough to take intimate acts like this into a private area.
I'm quickly just taking my pup and I'm gonna treat him to a good time.
Okay. Oh. Okie dokie.
Of course, some people are far more flagrant with PDA. Yeah, like a little avatar guy smacking a big fat ass and he's just like, yeah, this shit's mine. It's true. I mean, it's true in these raves, these clubs. In many cases, people will boldly engage in this sort of behavior in public worlds to the point of angering everyone else just trying to have a good time with their friends. Many players recount times where they've seen people having loud e-sex with their microphones unmuted. One of my favorite ones is a guy in a COD lobby. Have you seen that one? This guy's in a COD lobby and his buddy's TeamSpeak mic's on and he's his girlfriend and she's like, ah, and he's like, bro, turn off your mic.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yo, go on mute, JP. Go on mute, JP.
What the?
It's so good. In another case, one gentleman had been caught walking up behind AFK users masturbating. You like that? Some people struggle to form romantic relationships just as much online as they do in real world. Luckily for them, there are virtual escorts that can be hired for the purpose of engaging in intimate conversations. There are even sex workers who exclusively post to websites like Fansly with virtual avatars. But you may be wondering, how is VR ERP physically enjoyable? Well, some people utilize fantasizing psychological phenomena known as phantom sense.
Hey, do one of you guys have Phantom Touch? We're doing an experiment for college.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Jump him! Jump him! Boom, 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 boom.
What?
Please do not walk through me.
What?
Be careful. I got yelled at too for walking through her, so be careful.
Why is that a big deal?
Rainbow here has severe phantom sense, so please try to not walk through her, or you will be removed from this instance.
Do you feel it if I just like punch you like that?
Ow.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
Can you see this?
Oh, hell no.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my god, stop hurting him. Stop hurting him.
I don't miss.
You are strong for thugging that out, dude.
Ow. I think I just dented the fan.
You dented the fan?
Yeah, I punched it with my full strength, and that still didn't compare to that.
You punch metal for fun?
No, I punch things to keep my anger at bay.
If you didn't think we were going to talk about phantom sense, if you have not been into the world of phantom sense, then you have not seen any funny VR chat clips. People will walk through other people and they're like, dude, stop. She has phantom sense. She's going to pass out.
Wait, so if I just like do this, do you feel
Hold on, don't touch me.
To put it simply, players claim that they can experience changes in temperature as well as tactile sensations during physical interactions with other VR players. So what they're saying is that two of the avatars actually touch, they will feel it. Like if they touch hands, they will feel it in their hands. Like basically they're embodying, their essence is embodying the digital world and they can feel shit. I don't buy it. One user records himself throwing virtual tomatoes at someone referred to as floof.
Yay.
So whoever throwing the tomatoes, please stop.
Anyone who messes with her messes with me.
And I find out who it is. No!
Guys, back up.
What kind, is that just
mental illness?
Well, it's mental illness. Just say what you want to say, Nick. I know what you're saying. Is it a thing though? Is it just somebody that's just like wanting attention or something? You know what I mean? Like, because the person that's throwing tomatoes is obviously aggravating them because they must have said something where they were like, "You have what?"
Stop!
Stop it! Whoever's throwing those tomatoes will face serious punishment. Am I clear?
Back up. Back.
Why is everything getting blurred?
Holy
Did she pass out?
Phantom Sense doesn't seem to be a well-researched field, and many have played the game extensively without ever experiencing it for themselves. It's kind of like, I don't know, a fucking ghost encounter or something like that, right? For these people, there are plenty of alternatives available provided you're willing to open your wallet. In fact, there's a whole market for electronics Bluetooth-enabled toys that can be linked to your VR rig in order to have a more advanced type of e-sex, which there are some crazy vids out there, dude. Oh, there's some stuff even at conventions where people are testing stuff and there's like blow-up dolls and guys are like power f***ing the blow-up doll. It's insane. Using these for sexual encounters is referred to as teledildonics, and it comes in many forms. There are toys utilizing haptic technology that links it to your partner's device in order to allow for realistic long-distance intercourse.
A little Wi-Fi job. Oh.
My God. Good morning to me. More extreme underground ERP experiences include sex clubs that can sometimes turn into straight up VR orgies with piles of naked avatars getting off together. Some private rooms in these worlds have a heavy focus on BDSM roleplay.
Holy
Would you walk
fuck.
me?
Yes, but rules are rules.
Mom?
What the hell do you think you're doing?
How was my door? I forgot to lock my door?
Not everyone takes things to the extremes. However, there are many wholesome stories of people getting into relationships that start on VR chat and end in marriage, which, like any video game, tons of video games that happen like that. But did you start an orgy? How do you tell it to your kids? How's the meet cute? What's your when Harry met Sally thing? She was a werewolf and I was Dragonite. And we met at an orgy.
I'd leave a couple of those details out. I think the dragon part's funny. I think I'd tell my kid that.
I wouldn't tell my kid any of it. Maybe I'd just say we met on a video game. That's what I'd say. But am I going to tell them we met at an orgy? Nah.
You're not going to tell your kids how you conceived them? My mom does this thing every year on my birthday. My mom watches every Meat Canyon, Papa Meat.
Please do not tell me she told you how she had sex with a man.
No, she explains the every day, the night, or the day I was born. But I was saying, like, maybe you could do that to your kid, like, tell them the night they were conceived as well.
Nick, you have got to reiterate that your mom did not talk. She's just like, put me on my back, lifted my ankles up over his shoulders. Tell the story again, would you, Mama? It's called a jackhammer. Wow. Dad is strong, huh? While buying a VR setup is certainly the best way to experience the game, you also have the option of playing the game using a keyboard and mouse. Boo! Yeah, what the f? There's also the option of using a mobile phone, but it is far too limited of an experience. It just isn't the same. Many players have claimed that the keyboard and mouse control method has led them to be bullied in the game by other VR users. VR purist? You don't have a headset? What are you, a pussy? I just can't afford it. These elitist players will look down on them, calling them deskies aggressively, like some sort of slur. You fucking desky. Others simply refer to them as cripples and taunt them by telling them to emote in ways that they physically cannot do with their controls. Many seasoned VR chat players with more income will go as far as purchasing additional sensors that can track your hands, eyes, and even facial expressions. As for choosing an avatar, there are tons of free options available. Of course, some people take things to the next level by paying for highly detailed avatars online. There are even 3D artists that you can commission to make hyper-customized avatars detailed in your exact specifications. And there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's not only like 3D assets you can find online, but there's insane amounts of different characters. There's like one worm guy that's really popular right now, the little stick dude. He's like super popular. There's the clip of, there's like a content creator I see a lot. He like pretends to be an old man and he walks around Roblox. That one's pretty funny. But there's all kinds, it's anything that you can imagine could be in the VR chat, which is kind of cool. So I mean, there's a lot of versatility. There really is an endless amount of things you can do in a game like this. It's easy to see how certain people in the right circumstances can find themselves becoming addicted to it, right? I mean, it's like being able to party anytime you want, being able to have social interactions anytime you want, and it's being able to escape your problems anytime you want. To me, that's pretty fucking addictive, right? If you're gonna delve into the world of VR chat, remember that there's a whole lot of unsavory things you can encounter. So be safe and maybe put the headset down every now and then and don't go down the wrong path. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Enjoy your virtual reality and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Fuck Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today I have a giant zit on my eyebrow. See that? Look how angry that motherfucker is.
That's huge.
Is that crazy? Jarvis enhance.
Okay, Garmin.
Jarvis enhance.
Video speichern.
Isn't that crazy? If I close my eyes, does it look like a cyclops?
That looks like your third eye, yeah.
Should I just close my eyes this whole video? Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about bus drivers. I'm sure many of you watching have memories of waking up early in the morning for school and getting on the bus, right? I know I did. It's probably one of the most unpleasant experiences that most of us have ever shared. Don't know why, but the bus is just kind of an unsettling place, filled with unsettling kids. Whether it's the thick, warm body odor or the obnoxious screams from other passengers, there are plenty of things that make bus rides absolute hell. At least for you, the ride gets to end as soon as you get to your destination. Bus drivers have to spend grueling hours dealing with all kinds of unimaginable horrors. So together, we're gonna look into some of the most horrifying public transportation stories ever told about buses. It's a bus video, a big bus video. There's way too many videos of like drivers getting up and be like, "Get down!
If I see you out of that seat again, you're gonna get kicked off this bus.
A bit unruly. You know what? I'm gonna go on a limb here and say it's a bit uncomfortable. Me watching a 58-year-old woman screaming at like a small child to sit down. And the kid being like, "I know you are, but what am I?"
I think the kids deserve it.
It's the unfortunate reality. It's the unfortunate reality.
We're seeing like a minute of this bus driver's life. This is...
Hey, how long have they been doing this? I know you are, but what am I? I think I'd snap too. I wouldn't be mentally strong enough.
I bet you every single bus driver has thought, what if I just went onto oncoming traffic or like went off a
Miss Driver? Jesus. The wheel, he's just like, we're going down.
Jesus, why?
If you're a bus driver, then you're trained to deal with all sorts of emergencies. This may not truly prepare you for the sheer amount of bodily fluids you'll encounter on the job. We're starting with body fluids. I'm getting it out of the way first, all right? Where there's gonna be other stuff down the road, but we're getting bodily. I mean, you know what we're talking about. Come on. On long bus rides, people are usually on their phones or reading books to pass the time. These pastimes are not perfect and can cause motion sickness, which can lead to large messes. While driving through a hilly region, a bus driver named Sammy had someone throw up on the bus from motion sickness. It happens, right? Not gonna fault somebody for, sometimes it's a long ride.
If you know you have motion sickness, bring a fucking bag.
That would be a little more courteous. Or I think that it's odd to me that it isn't treated like airplanes. There's a little baggie. Surprised.
One time I had Jack in the Box tacos, and then I threw up instantly.
You've told this before.
Oh, I have.
You've told this before, and I was like, you shouldn't have gotten it.
I threw up in a 2-liter like plastic bag. And then for the whole ride, I had it there for like a 3-hour trip.
Because you were in the back because your mom was driving.
Yeah.
Why do we do this? No more! We have discussed this story in length. As the vehicle continued to go up and down, the vomit slushed from the front of the bus to the back of the bus, causing the entire bus to reek of vomit. And the rancid odor of the vomit was too much, and other people began to throw up as well, uncontrollably. In total, 12 people threw up on that bus, causing a tidal wave of vomit to go back and forth over the floors of this bus. Sammy, finally fucking through her burnt nostrils, decided to pull over and let everybody out. But there was so much barf on the floor that people had to climb over the seats to avoid stepping in it. I think at 3 people, I'd be like, we should pull over. 12 people!
It took one person to start having a reaction.
Over and over again. Let me know if anybody threw up looking at this. Nick, stop. Puke bag. Puke bag.
I can make myself throw up. Ready? Oh.
I thought you were going to commit to it and I was going to do what? Read it. No, say I think I was
Oh. What? Say what?
School buses don't come with bathrooms because the routes are typically not that long, right? We're not gonna stop and pull over on a school bus. You're in for the long haul. And in some cases, this can result in horrific bathroom emergencies for unlucky bus drivers, needless to say. Just before his shift started, the driver rushed into the office bathroom and nothing would come out. Don't you hate when that happens? I gotta go, but nothing's coming out. So he thought he could make it through the shift. Not even 30 seconds. All right. I like he's like, I can power through the shift. And not even 30 seconds after leaving the parking lot, a pain in his stomach put him in a dire situation. Just turn around. The biggest problem was that the bus had currently one passenger, the man's own daughter. Unable to think of a better solution, he grabbed a small trash can and filled it with diarrhea as his daughter watched in horror. The guy's like, "Ah!" whatever, and she's just like,
Whenever you have painful diarrhea, do you like put your feet up on the toilet like a gargoyle?
no, I've heard some people do the power squats like that. For me, I just let it go. I hate the poops that are like almost a giant knot.
Oh yeah.
It feels like a giant knot coming out of your asshole, and you're like, I do the squirms. Ooh. Oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Oh, this one hurts. Oh, and then finally, oh. I've had some knots sometimes where I leave the bathroom perspirating. You're sweaty. I've built up a sweat. I'm like, pull the toilet paper up. My ass is so chapped. I'm actually stoked that there's a little bit. I'm just like kind of damp. Have we talked about, do you go front to back or do you go back to front?
Front to back.
Do you go in between your legs or do you go behind?
I've done it before.
I can't do it from here anymore. In between legs, I can't do it. I always get nervous that there's gonna be a little bit of poo on my balls.
Well, that's why they say women shouldn't do it, because that's how you get yeast
Yeah,
infections.
you get yeast infections. A little poo in the snatch. A little snatch poo.
After one of a knot, have you ever wiped and just had like a whole toilet paper full of blood?
No.
Oh.
No. One time I did think I had blood on my stool and I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God. I looked in this toilet. I was like, it was like this big red mess. And I forgot that I ate like 2 pieces of red velvet cheesecake. I legitimately thought I had like colon cancer.
Oh, that was me too, like 2 months ago. I wiped and like literally is the most blood I've ever seen on toilet paper. So much blood, and then I looked in and the toilet paper was filled with blood. Or the toilet was. I called my parents and had to video chat with them.
It's so funny that you're like 33 years old. Mom, Dad, you're gonna want to see this. Just want to take a second to thank our sponsor, GamerSubs, for being one of our best sponsors, if not the best sponsor on this channel, and for giving us so much support, and for having amazing, tasty, quality products like our own flavor, Raw Meat, that you can order right now. It's amazing energy supplement. There's caffeine-free options, and everything has 0 sugar, baby. So if you're trying to get off the sody pops and get into something tasty, consider Raw Meat GamerSubs. I'm telling you, it's amazing. You can't go wrong with any of their flavors, and they also have big-tittied anime shakers that, you know, if you get your rocks off to that, I consider it because they're pretty sexy. It gets me stiff in my pants. So thank you, GamerSubs, for sponsoring this episode. And hey, check out Raw Meat. It's seriously the best flavor. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Raw Meat, if you're trying to get a nice caffeinated beverage. Thank you. Back to the video. Which, the little girl, don't forget where we're still talking about the guy having diarrhea in the trash can. His daughter had to hand him Kleenex wipes to help him finish the job. Kleenex in my bag! She's like, she'd be a brave little soldier and get daddy his Kleenex. Get your ass over here! I bet it was like that.
I feel like I'd be in too much shock.
For as a child, I would definitely be yelling at you as a parent then. I'd be like, you walk your ass over here! You wanna go home? I wanna go home! Well, what else am I gonna do? Am I gonna get up, balls swinging around, poopy butt, go grab my Kleenex myself? You're gonna step up, dude. You need to step up for your dad. Afterwards, he bagged the poo and threw the bag out onto the road so he could begin his route. Sir, you might have pooped in the bag. You don't need to litter. Is it litter if it's poo? It'll wash away in the rain.
What if it's a plastic bag?
Oh, I thought that. Oh, I guess it's the bag. Yeah, well, the bag is. But if it was just poo, like if he dumped the poo out of the bag,
that's the same thing as not picking up your dog poop, I feel like.
It's runny. It's diarrhea. If my dog has diarrhea, what am I gonna do? Pick up the diarrhea in a plastic bag?
You try.
Yeah, you kind of have to try it to where you can be like, you almost like want somebody to walk by, so you're like, he's sick. Yeah, the dog's like. Later on, when the man was taking the children home for the day, he could see another bus swerving around an object on the road. At first, he thought it was a dead animal, only to realize that it was his bag of diarrhea, which had popped open on the road and smeared everywhere. This video started pretty gross. Are you still with us? Okay. Don't worry, people are dying later on the video. It'll get normal soon.
You can skip the poop.
Yeah, just skip the poop and blood and all that stuff, and the dead bodies and crashes are later, don't worry. Many large cities offer public transport, but most of their citizens choose not to ride because of how dirty and dangerous it can be. People have literally been beheaded and cannibalized while riding on a bus. So it's no wonder they don't feel safe. I mean, God damn, dude. Who knew this bus video was going to be the most gruesome video we've ever done? Holy shit. We've done a video about a family that like didn't feed their kids, and the bus video is already it's starting to step up. Holy shit. Given all this violence, it's no surprise that drivers need to stop and take a break every once in a while. Before boarding a bus in New York, a man peered through the windows to see the driver sitting in a passenger seat and pleasuring himself. Well, we gotta release some demons. That's mean beating is what that is. Probably a guy came up and was like, hey, well, nice riding, fat ass. And he's like, oh. He's mean beaten.
You think it was quick, or you think he's enjoying it?
I think he probably, I mean, if he's in the passenger seat, I think he's kind of taking his time. Also, the peer through the thing, what is this, like a prison bus? The guy's like in the front seat, like, he's just like, don't look at me, I'm mean beaten. His back was to the street, and both the porn and his, both the porn and his member were completely visible to every person walking by. Well, that's a fetish.
Yeah.
That's a guy that's wanting you to see. Don't look at me! Balls and cock pressed up against the window. I want to be like this at the Museum of Natural History in New York. I'm surprised there hasn't been a guy that's broken into one of those exhibits. You know, the cavemen and
Oh.
And there's like just a naked guy in there with his like balls and asshole pressed up against the glass. Starfish net. Looking back at you.
It's like one of the street performers who stays still for hours.
Yeah, he's all spray painted in silver. What if it was just he was that, but only his asshole was spray painted silver?
Is he spreading his cheek?
Yeah, he's spreading his cheek, his asshole, and he's like pressing against the glass. Pressing the glass like a little starfish.
Yeah,
They call it's the chrome starfish. And he's looking back at you. Got jaundiced eyes.
That's hard.
Would they let him sit there?
Yeah.
That's history. That's basically history. Being a bus driver is a big responsibility, and sometimes it's simply too much for people to handle. This is when we start to see just how bad bus drivers can get. In 2018, one bus driver went viral for losing his temper after passengers began criticizing the way he ran his bus. Hey, what the hell is this, buddy? He's like, oh, you motherfucker. As soon as an older woman begins to give him pushback, okay, we'll see, there's some old broad talking to me, come on. He parks the bus and begins screaming at her like a retired drill sergeant, telling her that his job is insanely stressful and he doesn't want to hear any back talk.
Just get off the bus. I'm having a stressful day. I don't want to hear any back talk.
He tells them that if they don't like the way he drives, he could quit his job right now and make them all walk home in the middle of the night. You know who would walk home?
You want me to just quit right now? Does everybody want to fucking walk home?
You want to walk home? I don't care. We'll all die tonight. Could you just open the doors, please? I don't think I am. I think we're all dying tonight.
That's what I'm telling you, man. They're bus drivers.
As people start to tell him to calm down, that's never first off. Hey, another quick fact. If someone's freaking out, never just be like, hey buddy, calm down. It's the worst thing you do. Sit silently, don't say a thing. Just never interact.
Don't look him in the eyes.
Never look him in the eyes, like a horse. But he began to scream, just let me vent and don't talk back.
Let me just vent. I'm just venting. Just let me vent and don't talk back. Just ignore me.
Just ignore me.
See?
Exactly. I don't want anybody to actually give me any feedback. I'm just looking. This is me. Hey, can a boy vent? God forbid a white boy catch a little emotion. Those are my favorite things now. During his crash out, he realizes that he's being filmed and screams that he doesn't care if he gets fired.
Go ahead, you can record me. I don't care. I don't care if I get fired. I'm sick and tired of people. I can't do everything. I can't read your mind.
The lady refuses to stop hassling him out of frustration, triggering the bus driver to start screaming at her about how he has to deal with tweakers, drug addicts, and threats.
I have to deal with tweakers, drug addicts, mental cases, people threatening me. I've had it.
It's a lot of stuff to deal with, to be completely honest. And she's just like, ooh, big man. I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, yeah, I doubt it. Why are you provoking the guy so much? People on the bus didn't like this statement and started to call his management. And some even threatened to call the police for his behavior. As the video ends, the lady with whom he was initially arguing got off the bus and told him to have a nice day. The driver waited till she was fully off the bus before screaming again and saying he had the right to vent because it was a stressful job.
Have you ever heard of venting? I have a right to vent. This job sucks, and I have a right to vent.
What do you think, Nick?
Valid crash out.
How do you legitimately think that's a valid crash out, or do you think the guy went too far?
I mean, I think with any crash out, it sounds like he went too far. It's just bad day. And what did she even do? What did she even do to provoke him?
Oh, see, I just thought you were saying, what does she even do? I thought you were just questioning her character immediately, and I was like, don't put Nick behind the wheel of a bus, I'll tell you that right now. Motherfuckers gonna be crashing out left and right. You don't know what I deal with! Raging against your rider is a quick and easy way to lose your job. So, many drivers have found other ways to relieve their stress. In New York City, a school bus driver faced serious consequences after encouraging kids on the bus to fight each other. I'm not leaving until you guys fight. It's a blood sport, Tommy. Come on. Do you want to go home or not? Oh, okay. In December of 2024, a young child came home with a bloodied lip, revealing to his mother that the bus driver was to blame. You gotta talk to the bus driver. Did he hit you? No. He orchestrated the fight club on the bus. According to reports, the bus driver randomly pulled over and stood in the middle of the aisle to the 5th graders on board saying, who wants to fight? That is insane. All right, who wants to duke it out?
You think he just picked 2 random kids?
I think after a while when no one responded, yes. Tubby and Redhead, get up. Really insulting shit. Moleface and Bucktooth up here in front. First person to get a belly lip wins. What do we get? Nothing. You want to go home? That's your prize. It's a more of a, what is it, Hunger Games situation. Who volunteers? Who's paying tribute? From there, a small group of kids got off the bus and began to fight each other, all while the bus driver encouraged them to keep going. I love how it's not even contained on the bus. He's like, oh, we're going outside. We're tussling outside. I don't want to get my seats messed up. He's like, yeah, these things are, this is a mint bus. At some point during the scuffle, the bus driver started to scream, no, 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 because he was upset with how the fight was going. So he swapped out one of the fighters with a different kid. Ah, this isn't fun to watch. I'm bored, is what that is pretty much happening. The whole ordeal was captured on a nearby security camera, and the school quickly fired the driver. That's insane. That's so great. How would you, can you explain this? He's like, I can't. I was bored. I was completely bored. What if they're like, all right, that's the first strike. You get 2 more. Choose the fight clubs on better days, Johnson. Get out of here.
Some school districts will give you a strike and
stuff. They'd turn a blank eye and just be like, who won?
Yeah.
Principal, was it Tommy? Yeah. He's a big kid. He's a big kid. Yeah. Big hands. I wouldn't fight him. I just had to know he could kick people's ass. That's all I wanted to know. Run weird social experiments. Who's the toughest kid in our school? We have to know.
How did that thought come up? You think he was pissed?
What I thought it was gonna say at first was kids were fighting on the bus, and he got up and he was like, well, then settle it. But literally he was just like, who wants to fight? And I have a sneaking suspicion that everyone was like, he called him out, Moleface and Bucktooth, and he's like, you're fighting. And I don't care, you will fight. Moleface was probably getting his shit kicked in by Bucktooth, so he's just like, God damn it, diabetes leg, get in there. Oh, whoa! Usually the top priority for drivers is the children's safety. Yeah, okay. But one oblivious driver ended up injuring a young woman on the way out of a stop. In 2015, a 7-year-old child was getting off. Oh my God, is this the dragging one? All right, I just want to say this is actually a f***ed up video. Should we even put this in?
I say read it and then we can decide, yeah.
In 2015, God damn it. In 2015, a 7-year-old child was getting off her school bus when the driver closed the door on her bag and drove away with her still attached to the door for nearly 2 miles. The little girl was dragged on the pavement and it was captured on numerous Ring doorbell cameras. And I'm not laughing at the situation. It's just insane. It's absurd. Also too, because in the video, how does the driver not know? To me, it seemed like they didn't care.
That's what the parents think, because there's 2 of them actually. There's 2 adults. There's like a guy, I'm pretty sure, talking to her.
Well, she's like driving. It's like in your peripheral. There's absolutely no way you wouldn't see that. Fucking dumbass. The bus eventually stopped after a driver in a red Camaro saw the girl hanging from the bus, pulled in front of it, and hit the brakes. And once the girl was freed, she was taken to the hospital, where she was treated for severe road rash and chronic nerve damage. Good God. Without hesitation, the driver was fired. 6 years later, a $5 million settlement was reached between the family and the driver. Do you think there's nothing that says permanent damage?
Chronic is usually permanent. So.
And nerve damage, I guess, too. Man, the $5 million's not enough. No. If anything, they need to fucking take that stupid bitch and
drag her for 2 miles.
Exactly. Have her have a fucking tiny ass backpack on there. Flail around like an idiot, and they do it all day.
I mean, looking at that fucking Ring doorbell, it's glad that once she got on, she didn't like get sucked under the bus and ran over.
Well, I mean, it's horrible what happened, but I'm just mean like, I'm glad that she's alive and okay. Granted, her life will never be the same because of this fucking idiot, but I'm just saying, driver needs to be dragged. The driver needs to be dragged.
Even if it was just negligence, it's just like...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does not.
It does not matter. Driver needs to be dragged.
They're supposed to... I mean, like, it's crazy because bus drivers are usually supposed to wait and make sure, like, kids...
Almost every time I was ever on a bus, what happens is they... Shh, have a good day. All right, bye. A parent was on the doorstep and they'd be like, wave. And then the bus driver like, okay. Shh. Would just be like, all right, bye. I mean, what the fuck was that, dude? Good Lord. Driver needs to get dragged.
Actually, you know what? I think our bus driver, every stop, she would get off and wait for everyone to get off.
And even that, to me, like, there's no way it could add that much time to your drop off. You know what I mean?
You're not a city bus.
No, I mean, what, you're on some fucking giant... These aren't adults, they're children, for the love of God. Certain amusement parks, like Universal and Disney, are so large that they have to bus customers in from the parking garage. I had to do that at Disney. It's absurd. Too far away. Long bus ride. Long lines. For them, what is supposed to lead to a day of fun can become a nightmare very, very quickly. If you were dreading the wait times for rides once you got to the park, you'd hate to hear how long some can wait for the bus, which I will say, it's insane. Just to get on a bus to go to the park.
Oh yeah, when we were trying to leave too.
Oh my God. If you close Disney out, you might, I mean, give up. Give up on life. It's done. Seriously. Multiple guests have reported waiting an hour and a half in the sun for a single bus just to take them to the fucking, which at that point, I'm like, I would just walk. An hour and a half, I'm like, you would make it in time. It's an inconvenient walk, but I'm like, just walk. Walk to the parking garage, my God. There's a list of reasons for long wait times. One of the more shockingly common complaints from Disney fans is their hatred for disabled passengers. We gotta, I'm not saying this. I'm saying that's what the Disney adults are saying. Disney adults are like, what do you mean? I'm not even. On more than one occasion on the r/Walt Disney World subreddit, people have complained about how people of disability scooters are making the buses worse. One person vented about waiting in a long line only to be booted off the bus to make room for a scooter and its family who arrived just moments before.
I've been waiting.
Oh God! No, please! No, please! Go ahead. Guy's no legs. He's like, oh, thanks. Sorry, I know it's a bit of a. No. I'm just sweating my ass off. I'm really sorry. I just. Giant, like, what was it, aliens from Toy Story cup or whatever. Drinking Orange Crush. God, I am dehydrated. I'm so thirsty. Fuck you, scooter. Another person was waiting in line watching as a woman struggled to park her scooter on the bus. Multiple bus drivers have tried to address this issue, but despite it being out of their control, they still get yelled at by numerous guests for allowing the disabled to skip lines and get on before them.
Oh, really?
It's so gross when I hear. I'm like, where do you have to go? Where do you actually have to go? You know what I mean? If anything, if it's that hot, I get it where you're like, dude, I'm exhausted. But still, it's a fucking disabled person, dude. My God.
Really?
And I love when people do the look around where they're trying to like rally the troops for someone else to be like, yeah, that is bullshit.
Really?
And when it doesn't happen, they do.
Guess it's just me.
I guess I'm the only person that actually. Okay. You guys are sheep. Once you've made it on the bus, the suffering only continues. Amusement park drivers are notorious for purposely overfilling the buses in order to shorten lines. A woman and her husband were forced to stack both their stroller and baby on their lap after the bus driver allowed a family of 10 onto an already packed bus. The woman tried to get the attention of the bus driver, saying, I don't think they're all gonna fit, but the driver ignored her and packed everyone anyway. Let's go. What makes these bus rides even more miserable is that they're poorly constructed and not safe for passengers in any way possible. In 2010, a bus driver had stopped at Epcot and was waiting for guests to board when another bus rear-ended him. During the crash, 47-year-old Jean Valentine's legs were crushed, leaving him critically injured. He was rushed to the hospital and treated for injuries. Following the crash, he sued Disney and won $1 million settlement. See, sometimes, dude, if I'm 47, don't need my legs for. Crush him up, grind him, and let fucking old Mickey pay me. Pay me out, dude. Pay me out, is what I would say.
Million's too small for legs?
I feel like at 47, you'd be like, $1 million's fine. Honestly, a buck and a quarter. You know what I mean? Just anything, literally anything, just to stop. I mean, at 47, life's done. What else do you have at life?
Grandkids.
It's torture. It's a prison sentence. They're not even your kids. Your kids' kids. Didn't I already just do that before?
They say the grandkids are the best part.
Well, I guess that's true because you can be like, oh, I'm having fun with them. All right, take them home.
Yeah, once they start getting...
All right, leave. Oh, he's fussy. No, I already did my time. Thanks. Unfortunately, some of these bus rides turn deadly, like in the case of a 9-year-old boy who's riding his bike through a Disney campground when he was struck and killed by an 81-year-old bus driver. I just want to go on record and say I think every person over the age of 70, they should not be allowed to drive. Well, how am I supposed to get around? Dig a hole and lay there until you die, is what I would say. Life is done. All right. What did I say about the 47-year-old? You're 70. You had a good run. Dig the hole and lay there. Okay. Well, how am I supposed to go play pickleball with my... I'm like, dig the hole and lay down. For some reason, a lot of people have ingrained hatred towards bus drivers, and it scares many new applicants away because of the violence they may face. Most public buses require passengers to pay a toll before finding a seat, but some can't afford to, causing, well, heated confrontations. While driving his route on a cold winter morning, a driver picked up a drunk man carrying a sack of pennies from a bar. Oh boy.
I see where this is going.
Oh boy. The drunk man told the driver he didn't have enough to pay for the fare, so the driver told him that he wasn't allowed on. The driver pointed to the sack of coins, but this angered the drunk, causing him to yell that he didn't want to use that money. These are my pennies! As the driver tried to remove him, the drunk swung the sack of coins around and smashed it over his head before he could even react. The driver collected himself and tackled the drunk to the ground, calling the police to have him arrested. After the incident, the driver received 7 weeks of paid leave before his company almost forced him to return driving the next day after getting hit with a fucking 6-pound sock full of pennies. That would fucking hurt.
I've seen a video of someone getting hit over the head with pennies. Oh, it didn't look nice.
If you've seen a video of a man getting hit over the head with a sack full of pennies.
Well, I think it's
Nick, or do you lie sometimes? On the show?
No, it's two girls. I'm pretty sure it's a girl.
You produce this video for this thing, or you're a liar. Editor, you're the decider right now.
It's a sock of pennies and just explodes. And she's like, ah!
Those videos make me cringe, man. I can't do it. It's like that one. Remember that video that went viral? That woman that hit that girl with a shovel.
Oh shit, yeah.
That is absurd. Every time I see those videos, I'm like, it's like that lockup reaction where you're like, oh God, I hate that. Bus drivers getting fired for doing the right thing is a regular occurrence. After picking up a bus load of kids on his route, one driver started to smell a foul odor. As he continued to drive, he started to feel sick and noticed other kids were showing similar symptoms. Soon, they began complaining of headaches and nausea, and the driver realized the bus was filling with exhaust fumes. Oh my God.
Man, that's horrifying.
He pulled over, unloaded all the children, and called the office to send a second bus. To his surprise, they flat out denied him and got angry for him not fulfilling his route. Eventually, they had to send another bus to pick everyone up, but they fired the driver for not doing his job. I just want to say that's a hero. And also, that's a sign from God where it's just like, dude, you were going to get in a wreck one day. This is a blessing. I think it might have been a blessing in disguise.
Well, yeah, what is he supposed to do? Drive and all the kids die?
Yeah, exactly. Get off the bus. The kid's like, like trying to crawl off the bus. Thank you. Listen, guys, public transport can be horrible and unpredictable. While Uber and Lyft are certainly less chaotic, it's just not financially feasible on a daily basis. If you're going to take the bus, make sure to thank the bus driver, because you never know what level of hell they're going through. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. We got a Patreon if you want to sign up and help us make tunes to some of the weird sets we make. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down, because today we're talking about mobile games. Oh God! Yes, the time is here. We already did one of these tournaments before, and it was so fun, and I've had so many people send me new mobile game ads, unhinged mobile game ads, that I feel like it had to warrant another mobile game ad creators. I don't know who the hell does the marketing campaign for this, but they should be given an award. You ever want to see a woman just get left behind because she's pregnant? How about like a baby wolf getting punched into a tree by like a kangaroo? Or just a series of onslaughts of uncomfortable things that I'm sure the gameplay doesn't match up, but we don't care about the gameplay. We're all here about trying to find what is the most unhinged mobile game ad. Part 2. If you haven't seen the first video before, check it out. It's a good time. Oh, me and my wife. But without further ado, let's get into our mobile game tournament.
Today's video is sponsored by Aura. Every morning, I sit down and I have Winslow tell me about what's going on in the world. I say, Winslow, what is happening? It's how I found out that over 2.9 billion records were stolen from the National Public Data recently. The NPD offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and anyone running background checks. So yeah, that's not good. The stolen records include people's full name, their addresses, their birthdays, social security numbers, and even their phone numbers. Essentially everything. These hackers have access to everything about you. And to make matters worse, they've reportedly released this info online. Which is why I use Aura. Aura gives me alerts if any of my information shows up on the dark web. They'll let me know fast if anyone tries to access my credit card or bank accounts. And they also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. Stop leaving yourself vulnerable to data breaches. Go to my link, aura.com/papameat to try 14 days for free. That's enough time for Aura to find out if your personal info has been exposed. Thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video.
First up, we have Wolf Game, which I think it was just called Wolf Game. You're a wolf. That's it. That's all you need to know. Wolf Game, Wild Animal, Mystic Spring Workshop, Mech Domination, Fairyscapes Adventures, Puzzle and Survival, Beast Lord, Mafia City, Last Fortress, Underground, Kiss of War, Rise of Castles, Frozen Honey, ASMR, Evertale, Happy Hospital, Matchington Mansion, and Penny and Flow, which let me tell you, there's some of the stuff I see, Fairyscapes Adventures, I see Matchington Mansions. I'm a little well seasoned now when it comes to some of these fucking things, and let me tell you something, the name will almost never match what is actually going to be happening on screen. I'm gonna guess that Matchington Mansion, I'm gonna shoot from the hip here, is going to have some kind of baby either freezing to death or being thrown into a dumpster. Without further ado, let's get into round one. Wolf Game, Wild Animal. I don't know why that one gets me so good. Wolf Game, Wild Animal versus Mystic Spring Shop. Wolf Game. All right, here we go. Round one. This truly is a wolf game. I feel bad for the little son of a bitch. I just got done rescuing a cat, so I feel even more sympathy for this. The piss feels unnecessary. Hot, steamy piss. They even put the steam in there. Okay. There's no way we could show this. This is so stupid. What the fuck is this? First off, the wolf giving birth like a regular woman, and she's just popping him out. All right, this had some kind of a bit of a story arc.
Well, it's implied. It's like, wait a minute, this one doesn't look like me.
Well, yeah, it's like the whole thing of like the classic early 2000s joke where it's like white woman with white husband and then black baby, and it's just like, what? Why the hell are these gorillas kicking us? Also, they always have these puppies like throwing up blood. Absolutely fucking escape or revenge. I like that. Well, we can at least know that this game is about revenge somehow. About growing up and become a big bad wolf. Also, they copied the wolf design from that PS2 or like what was that early 2000s wolf game? Okami, something like that. It looks just like that.
Wolf Game. Play now.
They got like a Chinese guy to try to do like an Australian accent. Wolf Game, play now. Okay, all right. Wolf Game coming in. I will say the first one was just the first one was just, you know, that's off the chain. That's off the hook. Off the chain? What am I thinking? Mystic Workshop. There you go. Okay. There she is getting squeezed in there. Oh, there goes her health bar. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of fucking with the sprite animation. The style's kind of cool, if I'm being for real. What is this? She's taking back shots the whole time, and it's just like Mystic Workshop. I don't know which one I think is more unhinged. I mean, the wolf one to me feels like a winner. I think you got to give it to Wolf Game. Next, we have Kiss of War versus Evertale. I'm going to tell you right now that these are going to be. I just know down the bottom of my heart this is not going to be as advertised. Let's see. All right, it says iOS. Is that what this is on, or? What is this? You electrocute her on the ground. I like how they have to continuously have her ass get popped up and show her like camel toe from the back. How was that Kiss of War? See, this is where it pisses me off though, because I hate when the fucking games are just like, yeah, you have big robot bitches with their big camel toes popping out from the back, moose knuckles and all this kind of stuff, jiggling asses, and then at the end it's just like a girl holding like a World War II gun. You're like, what the f? That isn't cool. They really like the faceless robots. This feels legal. Yeah. There's definitely some guy on his phone watching this too, and he was just like, oh, it's armor. They're wearing armor. Kiss of War. This fucking pisses me off. This one pisses me off, dude. It felt illegal watching that. Is what it felt like. It felt like I didn't like that. But is it unhinged? Compared to Evertale. What the fuck is this? Oh, cool. Those are cool boots you get to put on her. How are we supposed to show?
I got these straight from YouTube.
I'm guessing it's supposed to tell you that you're supposed to just dress up. What the fuck was that at the end? What is this game? I mean, this is a terrible, terrible round. Kiss of War, you're just frisking people. At least there's like some kind of implement of gameplay, I guess. Evertail, what the fuck even is that? I'm just gonna go Kiss of War. Evertail, I don't know what the fuck I was even looking at there. How about next up we get the Bag versus Mech Domination.
It's grab bags, those are random things.
Oh, so it's grab bag. It's just a grab bag of random ads that maybe don't fit into, you know, let's see here. Okay. Can we show that? What the f? Is there any moderation that happens, or can you just upload any ad you want?
Oh, you can upload any ad.
So they don't have to like, I don't give a f, you pay us, we'll throw it up. Let me see here. This next one is Mech Domination. Robot gorillas having their way with a robot velociraptor, and then to blur the velociraptor whole, they use a spicy emoji, kind of like, whew. I can't show you, this is too hot. Yo, why do I kind of want to play the weird infection like game? Also, I like how these companies, they'll get like 3 3D models and they'll just reuse the shit out of them. I guess just for cohesion reasons, I'm gonna have to go with Mech Domination. Even though, I mean, what the f is this tournament, dude? Okay, next up we have Rise of Castles versus Fairyscapes Adventures. The strategy of just showing something completely unhinged at the beginning of a video is such an interesting market strategy. Grinding a guy's on a cactus and then he slingshots forward and immediately builds a beautiful home. What is that supposed to tell us, Nick?
If you work hard enough, you can.
You have to push through adversity. Fairyscapes Adventures. I know this should be the first thing I need to say, but how do her panties fall off?
While she's running, yeah.
while she's running, she's like, ugh. If a princess dropped her panties, would you smell them?
Oh, if a princess?
Yeah.
If I liked her.
Pause! There's so much going on. Audio, dude. Oh, dude, him sucking her toes. What the f? He pushed her over and her water broke? What did she bomb the beautiful forest around her? And her house is made of gold? Or no, is it hay? Pushing her over and then seeing the... I wonder if that was initially supposed to be blood, but they had to blur it. God damn! Snow White being all... Come on, dude. Leave or stay? You leave... Yep, here we go. See, now we're getting back to the classics, dude. Give me a big old girl who is stuck in some snow. That's all I need, dude. This is easy gonna win. There's no way... Yippee! I get to live in this abandoned house and freeze to death. Fairyscape Adventures, and it shows a pregnant Snow White on the cover. Fairyscape Adventures is going to be difficult. I mean, Rise of Castles doesn't even come close. Fairyscape Adventures, that's going to be a difficult one to beat, dude. Next, we have Frozen Honey ASMR versus Happy Hospital. God damn, dude. The art for Happy Hospital is gruesome. It's awesome. What the Frozen Honey ASMR. Let me see.
My God, what are you doing? This is disgusting. What are you doing? No. You think I'm gonna eat this?
No, that is disgusting. Do you think I'm going to eat this? just like goes perfectly into her mouth. What, do you think it's, once again, it's that thing where it's like a free game, but are they making their profit off of like fishing for information?
Yeah, they probably run ads on it too.
Because I just wonder how these people stay in business. Like how, like where's this money coming from? Happy Hospital? Let's see here. Ew, what the what the oh my God. Why is she face down in a puddle of water? Is this a dead woman? Ew! There's a maggot in her open wound. Choose tool? This is a heavy hitter here, Nick. Yeah, I don't know why, but it's the cleaning videos like this, satisfying. You know what I mean? I can see how people get hooked to this shit. Ooh. What the fuck? Why do the earwax look like a giant piece of shit, dude? That's disgusting. Are these bugs? Are they, what the f he pulling out of his ear? Oh, the sounds. All the pimples are coming out like tendrils, like the pus. Dude. Honestly though, I could see myself definitely playing this. Is that kind of up? Would you play it?
That looks fun. Apparently that's actually what the game is.
You actually get to do it? That's got to be huge points because these games never operate the way they would. This is where I'm kind of at a crossroads. If it's the most unhinged, should I still want to play it or no? Then I would probably go Happy Hospital because even then it was crazy. Also, Frozen Honey ASMR. I feel like if a little more production value, dude, win me over a little bit more. We're finding our groove here a little bit because Fairyscapes Adventures and Happy Hospital so far are definitely at the top of my list. Those are the fan favorites right now. See, there we go. That's exactly what I want to see. Click it up. Matchington Mansion. It's a single mom with 2 kids and some kind of wind ray terrain versus Puzzle and Survival, a zombie game. Let me see here. Matchington Mansion. God damn, dude. How? Please help them. Not my business. I like how it's a war-torn terrain. Black Hawk Down style. I probably shouldn't get involved. I don't know which side. I'm just not even gonna get involved. They sprayed and killed all the rats. Oh, you better not. Don't breathe in that poison, little girl. They put a bomb in the... Hi! God damn! Honestly, it makes you kind of play the game a little bit, though. Just being able to torture a family. Well, that kind of sounds kind of bad, doesn't it?
Get out of here!
Ah, what a horrible way, dude. You find out that your husband is some hot maid, and then you trip on the way out. Horrible last impression. I'm not gonna lie, the not my business button is gonna go a long way in this competition. Not my business. I love the idea of a guy just being like, I don't want to get involved. There we go.
Yay, Mommy! Mommy got a wheelchair!
Oh, still cold there. The stove, or do we want a fishbowl? Okay, thank God we got the fire there.
Hey, it's warm in here now!
Oh, nope, there goes the roof again. The scream. This god hand playing with their lives. Always just kind of like, let me help you. Just kidding! Just collapses and drowns the people in snow. All right, next one is the puzzles. Puzzle and Survival. I just don't, that was a heavy hitter. That was a heavy hitter. I despise these games, dude. I hate seeing these ads. There's something about having to watch them, like, it'll like, when they just shoot the thing and it does the countdown, it's like, down to like 10, you're like, oh, just keep shooting it and it'll break, and then they switch over. They're trying to get you, because you're like, well, I could do it. I hate this. I hate this shit. Such an interesting concept where it's just all about literally how can you hook them with sex right, like really quick, and then you show like, but this is the actual game. Oh, that got tore up out of that window. I will say at least this one, it's called Puzzles and Survival. At least they're showing puzzles, but it still just doesn't hold up against Matchington Mansion. Next we have Beast Lord versus Mafia City. Okay, Beast Lord. Oh, oh, the ghost flying out of it. This is just so sad. I don't know how I feel about the God Hand stuff, dude. The God Hand stuff scares the shit out of me. That's gotta be the look. He's doing fucking balls right there. It's like a ball shape. Just a dying hippo. This is just animal cruelty is all this is. Oh no, but see, you're helping the animals. There you go, Beast Lord, the new land. Who the f threw the spear? Simba is haunting looking. It looks more like a rat. This is kind of epic. It's like this has gone on a long time. I feel like they're like, you were supposed to do 3 seconds of stuff. You're gonna start eating it. Yeah, there you go. Eat the bear, and he's god damn. Hell yeah. Not gonna lie, the last little roars and stuff looks pretty good. Beast Lord's looking pretty good. Can Mafia City hold up? If there's any kind of racist Italian American stuff going on, it might win. I'm just letting you know that right now. Did he just shoot a load onto the floor? Hey, take care of this.
Right away, sir.
The city bows to your command. Was he drinking like a coffee mug full of creamer?
Mafia City. Download for free.
This is what the mob is all about. It doesn't even hold a candle. It doesn't hold a flame to Beast Lord. And then lastly, in the round one, I can't believe we're already through it, is Last Fortress Underground versus Penny and Flo. I have a feeling Penny and Flo is going to be dirty. It's a zombie game? He's pissing on a zombie, and then and a baby pisses the bed, leaves the husband to die, grabs the baby. They have a doomsday hatch in their backyard. There you go, make yourself a nice new bed. Oh, the fat survived. What will you do? Help him betray him. You already betrayed him once, why wouldn't you betray him again? Help, wife. Like how she's cooking cutting that zucchini. All right, sweet, they got the new TV in there. Gotta make sure you get your new TV so you can play Fortnite. Careful, don't drown. Oh, you stupid. The garden. God damn, I feel like that was 4 hours long. Watching that, I was like, is gonna be it? Penny and Flo. Okay, here we go. Already got the single mom probably here picking up stuff. Or is it cheater maybe? She's doing laundry. Please don't tell me she sits in the laundry. Binky, did she put the baby in the trash can thrown away? Did she put the baby in the and she's redecorating? She's like, well, now they don't have a baby room. The storyline is literally that she put her baby in the washer and killed it. Now it's time to see which kind of blinds you want. And Penny and Flo, that's kind of what we're about here. That pissed me off. Watching that stupid baby, god damn it. So the baby's kicking, but he's actually busting a groove. I mean, I would still say Penny and Flo is probably better than Last Fortress Underground. All right, so we're at least in round 2 now. We've separated the weak from the strong, and now we're back to, okay, we're back to Wolf Game, Wild Animal versus Kiss of War. Wolf Game, round 2. Here we go, nice kimono dragon. Thank God Jesus Christ. All right, another wounded wolf. The wolf, oh God! You know, I'm gonna be honest. The cubes of meat though, huh? Kind of nice. I like the cubes of meat. He's got some armor, giant rat. I like how the first 2 were like realistic animals, and they're like, by the way, giant rat. Wolf Game. There you go. Huh. Kiss of War, it really needs to do something extra here. We need Kiss of War to be something more. Okay, dude. Kiss of War, what I don't like with this technology, the tiny hooker gun right on her. Oop, skim over the panties. So you're telling me I can look at a little panty here? Okay. Hooks her belly. Wait, what the? You, Kiss of War. I feel like Wolf Game has to take it again, probably, right? Next, we have Mech Domination versus Fairyscape's Adventure. I'm actually curious to see if Mech Domination can do something here to win us over, but Fairyscape, you know, that was like one of the first ones we fell in love with here. Not gonna lie though, some of the mech designs are actually kind of sick. Can we give it a point for that at least? A little bit of robot dinosaur love making is always appreciated, but Fairyscapes, I just have a feeling it's gonna roll them. I mean, already. Too heavy to carry? Let me try. Oh. Scream. Little Mermaid. What? There's always so much child death. Have you noticed that? It's always like a mom who's like keeping her child barely alive. What the f is those people doing to Snow White there? Those little dudes. Yeah, I thought the dwarves were. And there's a little something different there. I don't know. This one has a happy ending. I'll tell you what though, I gotta detract points away from it. I don't like the God hand. In the edits, I don't like the God hand edits. I just, it doesn't do anything for me. It always starts off with something crazy, and then these Disney, there's starving dehydrated dwarfs next to a crystal clear lake, and she's crawling over. Yeah, God hand again. God damn it! I will say Fairyscape's Adventure, it didn't hit as hard as the first round, but there was it's better than Mech Domination. I got to move Fairyscapes up, but I pray for him. You know, we'll see. Happy Hospital versus Matchington Mansion. Matchington Mansion that's a legacy brand. What is okay? Happy Hospital. Oh my god. Oh god damn! Oh the stretch. Oh my god. Okay, here. Oh my god. What is wrong with this beautiful woman's leg, dude? Hey! Hey! Whoa! And the coach is like, you have a very dirty leg. Let me see what I can do here. Get this little bug out of you. This one's difficult because that is disgusting. This is horrid. I'm at a bit of a crossroads here, Nick. Matchington Mansion. Okay. She faked her pregnancy? She finds a baby in the dumpster, ignore safe. Matchington Mansion is just, it's too good. Anytime a woman with a baby goes to a broken down shack, I don't think that game ads have ever gotten that top tier. The grandma getting crushed. There she is again. Oh, I wish grandma was here so we didn't have to stay in this broken down home. The spray foam over the window, that's a fix. You did it, you fixed it. Oh, nope, there it goes, failed, you're dead. I will say Matchington Mansion too, they like having the people die at the end. They like the misery. Matchington Mansion just captures a level of just human despair that I just don't think I've seen in any recent cinema even. I feel bad because Happy Hospital is pretty good, but Matchington Mansion, there's a lot more diversity too. Happy Hospital, we get the same kind of bug over again. It is good. Happy Hospital does deserve points, but Matchington Mansion, I mean, I don't even know how anyone's gonna beat Matchington Mansion. The evolution of story. Next up, Beast Lord versus Penny and Flo. Okay, Beast Lord, God. Get out of here. Oh, there goes the ghost again. I do like Beast Lord uses the little spooky, ooh, eater help. Oh, coward, dude. Eat a dying animal. Oh, they're friends. Eats one rabbit, gains 180 pounds. There you go. Eat the zebra, gain a 4 billion pounds. Hell yeah. The animal cruelty ones make me just kind of sad. Nice little Lion King meme here. Keep picturing Rocky being in the situation. It makes me sad. So this is literally Lion King. The animation of this is absolutely cursed. Yeah, this is just Lion King. Beast Lord, I don't know. I have a feeling Penny and Flo is just gonna absolutely wreck this shit. Well, I guess it's time to clean up this house and remodel. My man's left me. It's not even a happy ending. It ends with her crying into her hands. It ends with her crying into her hands, Nick. There you go. Okay, a little armrest here. All right, she wants a family. Oh, are they actually going to do it? Showing a bunch of backstories to lore that we have no idea about. So there was no more turbulence and she's just making out with the guy? She fell in love, I guess. Oh, she did! She got married! Who the hell is this? Just a random girl doing dancing at the end. Okay. I mean, I feel like Penny and Flo has more of an emotional draw-in. Also, I don't know what it is about it, but I love the idea that every time it's just her showing up to her house and being like, versus Penny and Flo, I'm tired of seeing the animal abuse. And also, after all, they literally went Lion King. I feel like I can't give them that many points. It's got to go to Penny and Flo. All right, semifinals. We're coming in. Wolf Game, Wild Animal versus Fairyscape's Adventure. I don't know if Wolf Game can handle it. What is up with people? What is up with these game ads and gorillas? Oh, there you go. The shark bites the wolf's. Continuing by, the gorilla is fishing with the wolf. It becomes a okay. Okay, Wolf Game. Wolf Game is pushing the limits here. Fairyscape, what do you have for me? Always the pregnancy test. I'm finding that I really enjoy something that involves basically, oddly enough, pregnancy. Why do I enjoy that, Nick? I don't know. I feel like I'm learning a dark secret about myself. Maybe I want to be pregnant. They're slapping her around. Goddamn. There goes the deal again. Oh, here's the God hand. We've already seen this. Did you just shank her in like the back? Like she just shanked her in the spine like 3 times. I mean, I gotta go. It's just gotta go to Fairyscapes. Fairyscapes is just gonna win this one. I know it. Oh my God, this is kind of a good one. Matchington Mansion versus Penny and Flo. Okay, now we're starting to get Matchington Mansion. If it holds up to what we've seen so far, then I don't know. Kick my wife's ass. He's already voted. First off, Matchington Mansion starting strong. A guy is doing sand volleyball against his wife with another woman. It's pretty crazy. Why my husband and my friend? They point to laugh at her. Leave me alone. It's too hot. Can I sit? They ever sit on a cheeseburger? And she gets her head hit in coconuts. I like how it sets up the idea that her husband is basically in cahoots with her friend. And then it ends up with her being happy that she found a tree to sit under with shade. I need the toilet now. Get out of here! Leave him with it. There we go. They moved into a freezing house with shit, like a shit flood and a water flood. That won't do. What are you gonna do about the toilet? No. Nice chocolatey river here. And there you go. Now you're drowning to death in shit and water. Wow. What about Penny and Flo here? The Penny and Flo universe is so vast. It's like the Avengers, dude. It's a whole nother episode. I thought you were dead. Penny and Flo, let me tell you, Penny can never catch a break. That's just it. She just runs away at the end. Okay. I mean, Matchington Mansion. It's just gotta be Matchington Mansion. It's gotta be Matchington Mansion. The finals here we have are Fairyscapes Adventure versus Matchington Mansion. This is rough. I mean, there could be a way that Fairyscapes Adventure comes in, but Matchington Mansion right now, I don't see how that behemoth, that titan of cringe gaming ads can be topped. Fairyscapes Adventure, let's see. Oh my God. That is disgusting. That... Oh my God! What is that ending to? Holy shit! Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that might be the most unhinged one we've seen today. The stretch mark belly, him beating the shit out of the belly. Okay, hold on. Oh my God! Where are these coming from? That was painful. That was actually painful. Oh my God, there's one more. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. I'll be honest. Fairyscapes came absolutely swinging that last time. Wow. Oh my God. I'm like crying. Matchington Mansion. I mean, we'll see. We will see. Tastes like turd. Can you even cook? Divorce indoor. There they go back to the see the rickety shack. They got to step it up somehow here. The rickety shack is funny. Don't get me wrong. I always love a nice abandoned house, but there's got to be they got to step up here. She has She took all the babies to the frozen shack. I will say I'm gonna give them points because they use the exact same house every time. Why does my hubby lick my hair? Leave or endure and go back. I'm telling you, they got one more chance here to step it up. The endure and leave is so good. It's a nice house. Nope, it's not a nice house. It's the frozen shack again. Oh, Matchington Mansion. I've been singing its praise. The last Fairyscapes adventures that we saw were so crazy I feel like it would truly be a disservice to not have them win. I mean, Fairyscapes Adventures is our champions here, going up next to our previous champion, Emperor Beauties. They go on as the masters of mobile game cringe. I don't think I could ever do this again. I don't know how many more times I can watch a woman walk into a frozen house. I don't know. All I know is, you know, Fairyscapes Adventure, my hat, I tip it to you. What a crazy last round. What a haymaker. I didn't think they were gonna win. Until next time, everyone. Don't download these games. I'm pretty sure they're Chinese spyware. One thing that I'm upset about, though, is I'm not seeing any Chinese dynasty kind of, because that was our champion last time. It was mostly like abandoning your daughter and then like they like marry somebody else, or you see your wife or husband cheating on you. It has really nothing to do with China at all. Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about tourists. God. I'll tell you something. Tourists are terrible. And I feel bad because I'm getting ready to be a tourist soon enough in Japan. My fat ass is going over there, and I tell you, I'm going to have the utmost respect for everything that I possibly can, but I'm sure it's impossible to be totally, 100% culturally respectable when I'm sure I'm maybe doing things out of the norm that are accepted over here. I don't know, but all I do know is that historically, online, tourists are some of the worst people imaginable. Most entitled pieces of shit you've ever seen, walking around, desecrating cultures, not really giving a good goddamn about anybody but themselves. Cringy. I just want to talk about some of the terrible things that tourists have done in the world. Hell, there's probably a long list that I don't even have myself, but these are some of the ones that I just wanted to talk about. Starting with our good friend, Johnny Somali. Johnny Somali is a well-known IRL streamer whose claim to fame is being an unrelenting, unapologetic troll.
Why are you being racist to other people in other countries? For money! For clout! I've said it many times. I don't give a fuck. I have no morals. I'm a sociopath. I don't give a fuck. Swing on it!
I'm a troll, dude! I'm just messing around!
He became well-known for traveling around different countries, harassing innocent people. And on his trip to Japan in 2023, he was seen repeatedly making racist comments and referencing the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki to innocent Japanese locals, just being a real piece of shit. At one point while on the train, he taunted several passengers about how they were, quote, going to drop another atomic bomb. He did this yet again to Japanese workers on a construction site before being screamed at and forced to leave. There was another incident inside of a restaurant in Osaka where Somali went live and purposely blasted music from his phone to annoy workers. And this led to a $1,400 fine for, quote, forcible construction of business. Which this led to a $1,400 fine for him, which is probably just a slap on the wrist. This little troll.
They asked him, like, are you making money off this? He's like, no, I don't make any money off it.
I don't make any money, I swear to God. He was found in Tokyo Disneyland Resort playing racially insensitive music to locals and filming their reactions without their consent. On many occasions, Somali's actions have led to him being assaulted by locals. Not only do internet onlookers approve of this, but Johnny himself seems to love the notoriety that comes with inciting the violence. His repeated bad behavior eventually led him to be banned from Japan. Aww. If anything, too, I bet this dickhead, I bet he's like, hey, that's awesome. I'm banned from a whole country. Epic. But instead of learning his lesson, he traveled to Israel to continue his tirade in March of 2024. In Tel Aviv, he would continue to harass people to the point where he was chased down and beaten yet again.
Ow! Hey, don't touch me, man. Hey.
Then 2 days later, he was detained for sexually harassing a female police officer.
You a bad bitch, I swear to God. You a bad bitch, I'll take you to dinner.
It's a prank. It's a joke. After the Israel trip, Johnny tweeted that he was going to travel to South Korea next and threatened to slap a member of the K-pop group BTS. During the visit, he kissed and performed a lap dance on statues of peace, which are meant to honor victims of Japan's wartime sexual slavery during World War II. So twerking and kissing it and joking around. Played obscenely loud noises on a subway, such as speeches by Kim Jong-un and North Korean propaganda music. Verbally assaulted a convenience store employee after he was refused alcohol. Then assaulted another lady by throwing an unknown liquid on her and slapping her camera out of her hands. Can we just say, great guy. Can we say that real quick? Just take a quick pause. Thank you for being such a good human being. Appreciate you.
Wait! We want to thank today's sponsor, PDL's Damned. Last year, half of American consumers took on debt to pay for the holidays. Oh, God. That's the cold, hard truth. Many of us will get deeper in debt during this time. God Damn. On top of that, so many of us are struggling with credit card debt, personal loans, collections, and medical bills. And the system is set up to keep you there. But our friends at PDS Debt can help you with a personalized solution just for you. I wish that PDS Debt was around to help me. If you're currently struggling with debt, making payments every month, but balances don't seem to be going down, PDS Debt may be able to help. PDS Debt is here to provide alternatives tailored to your specific situation. Everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies. And the best part is, there's no minimum credit score required. Save more while paying off debt in a fraction of the time. Start planning today. Get a debt-free analysis now at pdsdebt.com/PapaMeat. It only takes 30 seconds. That's pdsdebt.com/PapaMeat. pdsdebt.com/PapaMeat. Thank you to PDS Debt for sponsoring the video, and back to the video.
At this point, the people of South Korea had had enough, and it was time to fight back. So now locals have been actively making an effort to find Johnny's whereabouts and teach him a lesson. I hope it's probably worse than just beating him up, because he doesn't seem to give a shit. Gets beaten up and he's just like, radical. The first incident was when his phone was punched out of his hands by a man who had been watching his streams to find his location. Stream sniping became a regular occurrence for Somali during this time. Then Somali and his friend Jindo were jumped and assaulted by a group of people soon after. Even groups of Korean YouTubers began hunting him down. And at one point, every single one of them went offline at the same time, rumoring that they had just located him via his stream and prepared to attack. Didn't want to make it easier to get in trouble for beating up this piece of shit. On Halloween, Johnny was punched in the face out of nowhere by a Korean YouTuber who was fed up with Somali's actions. And apparently, the assailant is another YouTuber by the name of Yoo Dal-gyeon, an ex-MMA fighter and UDT, the Korean equivalent of like a Navy SEAL, who was specifically hunting Somali down. Motherfucker is getting some legitimate heat. I love it. Most recently, on October 30th of 2024, South Korean parliament caught wind of Somali's antics. He has since been banned from leaving South Korea as an investigation began regarding illegal drug use and assault charges. South Korea has intense laws prohibiting illegal drugs, and Somali may face up to 10 years for this crime. Meanwhile, the assault can lead to the max sentence of 2 years. In total, the potential fines for both crimes may reach up to $76,000. Don't let him leave. Just keep him around for a while. Throw him in a cage. I don't know. Do what you have to do. I'm a troll! I'm a troll! Some guy just comes over and is like, elbow drops on his head. But this is just one of the more notable cases that happened recently that kind of led for this video to be made. And even it's weird getting ready to go to another country and to even think that you can act like this. To me, going to a country that you don't speak the language, it's not your culture. It's almost like being invited into your friend's house for the first time and you're just kind of like completely, you don't want to touch anything. You don't want to ruin anything. Their dad's like sitting in the lazy boy just looking at you. Right. I'm just here to hang out. So not a big deal, right? You can't stay for dinner. Or we could talk about Americans harassing Japanese geishas. You ever see that movie, Memoirs of a Geisha? DVD cover scared me when I was a kid. It actually did. I just saw like The Grudge or something like that too, and I was like, huh. It scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. In Kyoto, Japan, there's been a serious issue with what is referred to as geisha paparazzi. Geishas are women that are trained in traditional Japanese arts like singing, dancing, and playing music, and they often perform entertainment for wealthy clients during parties. As they walk along the streets of Kyoto, tourists rush to take photos of them. I mean, that video of that woman, that fat woman, like, she's like, keeps getting up and she keeps taking photos, so she has to keep running up. The geisha is definitely just like walking in paths like, please stop this, but too weirded out to say anything. Good God. Maiko, or teenage geisha apprentices, are very young, making it even more inappropriate to treat them as some sort of attraction. And in 2019, the Gion, a historic neighborhood in Kyoto, pushed to ban photography. And in 2024, Kyoto has now banned tourists from parts of the geisha district. You can't even go there anymore because people are just the worst. Because they're just like, look at, you're so cute. This was due to the rise of aggressive tourists going so far as to chase down women and tug at their kimonos desperately to take photos. Please stop! Some would even pull out their hair ornaments and hit them with cigarette butts. The locals fear that the over-tourism after pandemic will continue to cause further harassment as well as increase in litter. Yeah, of course. Can you imagine being like, let me take a picture? Do you think that's people being like, all right, fine, you, and flicking at you to get their attention? Hey! Did I scare you? Did I get you?
Well, a lot of times they're like this. Like, don't look at me.
My God. Nick is going to Japan with me. I gotta keep an eye on your ass, dude. That was unbelievable. Or we could talk about tourists leading to animal harm. Are you having a good day? I'm here to ruin it. I hope you're having a bad day now, because that's what this video is trying to do. This is a comedy video, I swear. Not only do bad tourists lead to locals being harassed, but in many horrific cases, their needless, selfish actions have led to the direct harm or killing of wildlife. Make sure to keep that smile up. You smiling? Let me see that smile. Buckle up. We're gonna talk about animals dying now. Like the death of a baby dolphin. In 2017, a baby Francicana dolphin was found on its own on a resort beach in Mojakar, Almeria. Is this the Chronicles of Narnia? Where the f is that in the world? Near a large group of tourists. Oh, good God. The small animal was separated from its mother and was weakened and afraid. Was certain as a few short interactions and photos by the tourists became much more chaotic. Soon, a swarm of people surrounded the dolphin to pick it up, pet it, and pass it around to let everyone take selfies with it. This photo is haunting. That is horrible. I'm sick to my fucking stomach, dude. As they cannot stay out of water for very long, the baby dolphin eventually died due to dehydration. In some of the photos taken early on, you can see that children were covering its blowhole. According to marine wildlife rescue groups, the dolphin was scared for its life the entire time and could have been easily saved if authorities were alerted upon its discovery. It was also noted that the Francicana dolphins are an endangered species.
The threatened species only exist in a few Latin American countries, and with fewer than 30,000 left in the water.
I'm honestly, I'm getting fucking depressed. Did we have to include that the fucking children were covering its blowholes, dude? Can we not have just left it with the fucking selfie, the dehydrated selfies, dude? You just had to be like, also, the kids were putting their little fingers in his blowhole. It couldn't breathe. Oh, good. Let's talk about the death of a seal pup. In 2022, 2 tourists killed a baby seal pup in an attempt to take a selfie with it. Why do people like selfies so much? Selfies are so fucking gay, it's unbelievable. Leave it in, too! I said it, they're gay! Leave it in! The Great Basket Island in County Kerry, Ireland is home to over 1,000 seals and is often having to put up with misbehaving tourists interacting with them. The 2 of them reportedly took the baby seal from the beach and chucked it into the ocean. Afterwards, they dragged it back onto shore in order to take selfies with it. Get back over here. What kind of logic is that? What the f? Young seals spend their first 3 weeks of life being fed by their mother before they must fend for themselves. Because humans were interacting with the seal, the mom was scared off. Because of this, the pup was unable to feed, which led to its untimely death. It isn't just no-name, non-celebrities animals either, right? I mean, now even people are starting to throw things at Moodang, the little baby hippo, little pygmy hippo, which this year, a pygmy hippo by the name of Moodang, which means bouncy pork, who gives a f, took the world by storm after a series of viral tweets showcasing how cute and lovable and playful she was. I even saw a TikTok of a girl who's like, I'm traveling 14 hours to see Moodang, and she did that like 6 times. How much free time do you have, dude? It's a pygmy hippo. Get over it. Moodang is exhibited at the Khao Kyu Open Zoo in Sriracha Cheruburi, Thailand. Whatever. As Moodang became a viral star, the zoo found ways to capitalize on her virality by opening up a merch line. Basically, they just started throwing Moodang on everything and selling it. This also just feels like torture, dude. I feel like these zoos. You know what I say? I say zoos. I don't f zoos, man. If you're helping an animal out, sure. Why the f do we have fat-faced f***s coming up and being like, polar bear! Polar bear! F zoos, man. Probably some fucking guy getting paid minimum wage has like a hose spraying off a fucking like dying penguin. I don't give a f, shooting him in the back and shit. Totally. They even created a 24/7 live stream to see what she was up to at all times. It's awesome. Run around! Sadly, the notoriety Moodang brought to the Khao Kyu Zoo led to increasingly misbehaving tourists. Because as soon as mouth-breathing fucking idiots get wind of anything, they have to ruin everything and anything. He's cute, huh? Hey, Moodang! Look at me! Look at me, Moodang! In order to get a reaction out of the pygmy hippo, people began throwing rocks and objects onto her. When tourists made their way to the zoo to see her, some were frustrated to see that she was laying down and not putting on a show. Hand me my fucking lighter. Hey! In response, many would toss things at her in hopes of capturing viral photos and videos, or simply to see her in action. People engaging in this behavior were threatened with legal action, and the zoo has since limited the amount of visitors allowed to see her at one time in order to keep things safe. They're probably beating the shit out of that fucking pygmy hippo. I'm never going to step foot inside another fucking zoo again in my life. I am not fucking going to any of them. Even like fucking, what do they have up in Japan? Capybara Cafe? Why the fuck do I want to go to that now, dude? What a great life for you. Do you like this? A man helps a calf rejoin a herd and it leads to its death. Is this, are we just talking about animal death or is this still about tourists? In 2023, a newborn bison had to be put to death after a tourist interfered with its herd. This video might break me. It occurred in Wyoming at the Yellowstone National Park when the herd was crossing a river together. As they climbed up onto the roadway, a man noticed that one was left on its own. Seeing that it was struggling to walk up the steep hill, the man picked the bison up and pushed him the rest of the way. This seemingly good deed causes issues for wild animals, as interfering with a young offspring can often result in the herd rejecting it and leaving it behind out of fear. And they noticed that it began to continuously approach the other cars and people on the road. To keep it from endangering innocent people, park officials ultimately had to euthanize it. In return, the man could possibly face a misdemeanor charge for disturbing wildlife, as well as charges that can carry up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. Just seems excessive. Are you gonna go to your mom? Are you gonna go to your mom? Okay. Speaking of Yellowstone, there are a lot of videos of people getting too close to bison and they just get completely destroyed. Let me see this little girl get tossed up. I want to see a smile get put on my face. Ah, you stupid little bitch. I love it. I like how other people just like, they left the little girl on her own. She's like, oh my God. You know, is that the Buffalo Wild Wings bison, you think? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want more of that. Give me more child death. I like that more. Also, tourists like to fall into the hot springs and dissolve, which is fun. Tourist. We're not going to Japan anymore. I'm refunding the tickets. Or I can talk about Chinese tourists who go nuts for jumbo shrimp. What is this life? Talk about animals getting euthanized, little girls get hit by bisons, and now Chinese people loving jumbo shrimp. During dinner at a Thai buffet in Chiang Mai, a chaotic scene takes place when a horde of Chinese tourists charge a pile of jumbo shrimp. Okay, there's no way me saying this cannot be racist. A horde of Chinese people flooding a pile of jumbo shrimp? In a video released in 2016, you can see people shoveling shrimps onto their plates. Some are using a second plate as a utensil to shove more shrimp onto the first. Okay, I mean, I'll be honest, it's a lot of shrimp. Motherfuckers love their shrimp. Holy hell. God damn, they all look so serious too. Not one of them have a smile on their face. It doesn't look like any of them are happy to even be there. They're all just like...
Chinese tourists got a lot of money, so they would go to like Thailand or Taiwan and basically be very rude.
They had that shrimp money now, huh? I want all the plates of shrimp I could possibly get. Commentators were appalled at the viral video, especially after seeing the aftermath photos revealing how much food had gone to waste after the whole ordeal. I don't even want it. Nah, I'm good. I'm stuffed. I ate 2 pieces of jumbo shrimp. Nah, I'm good, actually. China experienced significant food scarcity during periods like the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution. As a result, having an abundance of food became a symbol of prosperity and success. For some, ordering more food than necessary is a way to demonstrate wealth and overcome past hardships. I just ordered this because you should see like a Mercedes-Benz. It's like having a pair of Gucci sunglasses or something like that. Jumbo shrimp. I like it's like the one slice of watermelon. We did also want to get the watermelon in there too, because watermelon pairs very nicely with jumbo shrimp. Tourist flips a boat after refusing to stop taking selfies. During a gondola ride in Venice last year, Chinese tourists were launched into the water due to selfish groups' desire to take as many photos as possible. You know me with Chinese tourists and photos, dude. Up in Alaska, when I proposed to my wife up in Alaska, we went to go see the Northern Lights, whatever. I swear to God, there was 30 tourists with cameras dead sprinting back and forth, taking all these fucking photos. Like, unbelievable. To the point where you were like, just take it in for a second, man. Like, they were shifting in every direction to take videos and photos, which became problematic when the gondolier had to sail the boat under a bridge. He insisted that the passengers stop standing out of their seats and take photos, but nobody listened. Because of this, the boat was unable to stay balanced and tipped over. In a video posted online, you can see the groups of tourists crying as they desperately try to get out of the ice-cold canals.
Also, those canals are fucking disgusting.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? fuck that. Oh God. You know what? Good. Let him fall over, man. I've experienced my own pain. I'm not gonna die on this hill. Or we could talk about all the times that tourists go to really nice places and they like to just say f it and vandalize all the property there, because that's fun. Because every place on Earth is like your job's bathroom. Ancient temple, the exact same as my Amazon warehouse's job bathroom. I could just take my car keys out and just start carving my name into it. Good time. Which we can talk about tourists defacing the Kyoto bamboo trees. One of Japan's most ancient and popular sites, Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. It is known as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, which are precious historical places representing a major stage of Earth's history. Not just Japan, f***ing Earth, the planet we live on, okay? Despite the delicate nature of the site, 100 bamboo trees were found tainted with carvings in 2018. They're like, the pandas eat them, they can't be that cool, right? Tourists from all over the world would pass by this landmark, carving their names and other words into the bamboo to commemorate the experience. Because bamboo trees are connected to their roots, doing this not only endangers the carved tree, but the ones around it. This leads to tampered trees being chopped down. Disrespectful actions like this could lead to tourist spot being closed down for good in order to continue preserving this historical landmark. And according to the manager of the forest, what the f does he look? What kind of, is he a centaur? He was past the stage of anger and feeling deep sorrow. It's that thing where it's like when you go into like a museum, is your first inclination to be like, to touch things? No, you're just observing respectfully, right? Oh, this is beautiful. Also, who the f wants their stupid ass name like Steven carved into a fucking piece of bamboo? Idiot. God, man, people suck. Tourist and fiance tried to carve their names into the Colosseum. Yeah, the Roman Colosseum. It's romantic. UK visitors, of course they're UK people. UK visitors to the famous Roman Colosseum are facing possible jail time for defacing its walls in order to commemorate his time there with his girlfriend. He's just his girlfriend, dude. She's like, we should get tattoos. He's like, why don't we just carve our name to the wall? The motherfucker's trying to get out. The Colosseum is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Once again, fucking Earth. We learned about this already. While Ivan Dimitrov attempted to carve Ivan plus Haley, that's a terrible collection of names. Ivan Dimitrov. Haley. Well, Ivan Dimitrov attempted to carve Ivan plus Haley 23 on the wall. He noticed that he was being filmed by a bystander that began verbally chastising him. This man then gave the footage to security. Love that. I love that, like, police hall monitor guy. Look at this. Cultural Minister Gennaro Sangriano referred to it as, quote, an act that offended everyone across the globe who appreciated the value of archaeology, of monuments, and of history. That's a fucking deep insult, dude. Not even just being like, it's the Colosseum. He's like, archaeology, monuments to mankind and history. You, sir, have spat in its face. Ivan's just like, hey, bro, easy, bro. Take my demo tape. He was caught by police and faced legal proceedings. A long and apologetic letter was sent to Rome's mayor as his lawyers made a plea bargain to request, don't let it happen, dude. Fuck him. Fuck him. Yeah, what day can I not call? I have key. If I have key, can I not carve? It's like, no, start your fucking car, moron. Or we could talk about teenagers who carves his name into a 1,200-year-old temple in Japan. While visiting a Buddhist temple in Nara, Japan, a Canadian teenager named Julian carved his name into a wooden pillar using his fingernails. Every Julian I've ever met, some of the weirdest fucking human beings on Earth. Also, Julian, really? Took his rat teeth and was wheedling them down. He's like, Julian, that's my name. The young man insisted that he did not intend to insult or disrespect their culture. I put my name there because I thought the place was sick. Can a man not just think some place is cool? Okay, fine. Regardless, actions like this can result in heavy fines and years of imprisonment. Due to his age, he likely will not be charged with anything severe. I think it should be the death penalty. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm fucking around. Or we could talk about how tourists break a 150-year-old statue for pictures. 17 German tourists, while on vacation in northern Italy, shattered a 150-year-old statue in an attempt to take a fun photo. It's going to fall and then we'll catch it, and it will be very funny. In the video captured by security cameras, you can see the group stepping over the water to stand next to the statue. While taking the photo, a buddy on the other side jokingly pokes at him with a wooden cane. Was he a vaudeville character with the phone? He's like, it's just like my mother used to do to us, right? As the man falls into the water, they bring down the entire statue, which crumbles upon hitting the ground. Oh, the cringe, the absolute cringe. Yeah, oh, mein bad. He's coming to mein Geburtstag still? I don't know. The work known as Domina cost about $218,000 and was precious to the location. Obviously. It is not known yet if the tourist will be charged or forced to pay for the damages. What? Justice! I demand justice! Or we could talk about other people smashing stuff, like when tourists smashed some Vatican statues. In 2022, an American tourist smashed 2 ancient Roman sculptures at the Vatican in a blind rage. Of course, dude. Probably another Julian. In the Musei Caramanti Museum, an adult man entered and aggressively insisted that he speak to the Pope Francis. Obviously, he was denied the request. I want to talk to the Pope! They're like, no, we can't. He's like, oh, god damn! He responded in anger by hurling an ancient sculpture to the floor. Vatican staff and security began to chase after him, and on his way out, he toppled another one over. Oh, God. The sculptures were not fully destroyed, but severely damaged. The man was forced out of the museum and handed to the authorities. Reportedly, he had been in trouble in the past for gross indecency in the U.S. Black Friday, dude, I'm telling you. This is definitely a Black Friday Best Buy guy who's like toppling over little girls and shit. And if actions like this continue to take place, it is yet again another historical spot that will halt tourists from entering. Which I say, good. Don't let them in, dude. F us. We're all dumb. This is, we're not going. Seriously, Japan trip canceled. We're not going now. You know where we're gonna go? We're gonna go Yellowstone. We're all gonna throw ourselves into the hot springs. Or an 18-year-old American lights 7 fires in Tokyo. That's you when you're denied Asian pussy. That was a stray. I'm sorry. That was a stray. He did this not just once, but 7 times in various parts of the region. 1 fire wasn't enough. I better do this 7 times in total. He was arrested after being caught lighting a fire in Nihonbashi. As the police began an investigation, they were able to tie 6 other nearby fires within 1.2-mile radius to the same person. Imagine lighting 7 fires, like barely over a mile. Most instances were trash cans lit on fires. Is the same guy? When he was questioned by police to his motives, he told them that he did not remember anything that occurred. This man was arrested on charges of arson and further investigation is underway. So at least he's arrested. Or the Torii Shrine gets destroyed with coins from tourists. In 2018, tourists inadvertently destroyed the Ikushima Shrine's Torii Gate. This torii is placed in the middle of a bay, but is able to be visited up close when the tide is low. This is when tourists come to take photos and videos. The lower parts of the gate that are often submerged in water are noticeably damaged. Over time, tourists began shoving coins in these cracks as an attempt to bestow some kind of good luck. Not only does this donation technique fit with traditional donation practices, the cracks are being enlarged due to the coins and slowly destroying the torii. Over time, it is believed the gate will be severely damaged if this practice continues, which we all know that it will. It's just gonna happen. It's gonna be destroyed because people are terrible. And then lastly, we're gonna talk about a couple who tried to steal over $1 million in wine. Or tourists. We're going to steal $1 million in wine. Last year, 2 tourists were imprisoned for stealing $1.6 million in bottled wine. Priscilla, a former Mexican beauty pageant star, and her partner, Constantine, stayed at a luxury hotel that was next door to A Trio, a 3 Michelin star fine dining restaurant in Spain. After eating at the restaurant, they went on a group's tour of the wine cellar, which featured vintage bottles that cost up to $371,000 apiece. Using the information from the tour, the 2 of them returned to their hotel room to plan their heist. It began with Priscilla ordering room service late into the night, around 2 a.m., when only one man was working the front desk. As he left to deliver it, her husband stole his key card and used it to gain access to the wine cellar. This is I was going to say a movie. You gotta believe that. They made off with 45 bottles of high-priced wine and escaped at around 5 a.m. They were ultimately caught and arrested at the Albanian-Croatian border. Both of them were sentenced to several years in prison for armed robbery and were forced to pay 753,000 euro, which is basically $800,000. The couple has the ability to appeal the court's decision and seem to want to do so under the lawyer's claim that 45 bottles do not fit into 2 sports bags. This case is still ongoing. I mean, 45 bottles, Your Honor, into 2 Nike bags. Like, we have video footage of you. Please. All I know is this. Tourists are terrible. Like I said, I'm canceling my flights. We're not going. No more. We're not doing it. I'm never stepping into a zoo again. All I'm going to do is I'm going to sit in my house and I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry over the atrocities of the world and these tourists. And all I can do is beg God to forgive us all. I don't know. Tourists suck, dude. Here's a tip for you. If you're in Japan, don't run in front of geishas and try to take pictures like a idiot. Are you kidding me? It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. But until the next one, I'll see you then. Yeah, bye.
back to the
Papa Me channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on and sit on down because today we're talking about cyclists. There's one thing I actually hate in this world is cyclists. I'm sorry if that pertains to one of you, but actually I'm not sorry. Get a new hobby. The constant battle between boomer cyclists, any age cyclists and drivers is an ongoing feud that will never end. For as long as anyone can remember, there has been an endless beef regarding which side causes the most trouble on the road. Is it drunk drivers or is it cyclists swerving in between legs? Maybe he hits the side of your car with his fist because this is my road too, damn it. It's not. It's not. I have even had my own gripe with cyclists. While I lived in Portland, Oregon. I know, shocker. A person on a bike in Portland, Oregon, smashing your car and being a... That's odd. I think we were getting ready to park, following every traffic rule we could have ever done. And it was like the parking spots that are kind of diagonal. And as we were just like pulling into one of the spots, this guy on a bicycle speeds by and he hits the back of my wife's Jeep and just keeps hitting it like that. He does, look out! And we were pulling into a spot. Like, I don't know what the... And ever since then, I'll be honest, I'm a little biased. I've had an issue with cyclists. I think it's a gross hobby. Also, don't act like you're saving the world riding a bicycle. Can I just say that too? I'm a barista and I'm going to my coffee job on my bike, not using fossil fuels. You can't afford a car. Just say that. Can you say that? You're probably just like, I had too many. They took away my license. Don't need a license to ride a bicycle. Whichever side's to blame, one thing's for sure. Things have gotten so heated that both sides are responding in extreme ways. And of course, there's been some viral videos of maybe older bicyclists getting in little heated debates, let's just say, with young drivers. And today I think we're gonna look at where did this feud start, who's in the right, who's in the wrong, and where the hell are we going in the future? And for me, it's gonna be in a car because I want to get there in one piece. One piece! Which, first off, let's just explain the feud. Cyclists often complain that drivers do not share the road with them or return the same respect they receive on the road. See, already. I'm like, when have you ever seen like a respectful cyclist? They say that there's a lack of instruction in driver's ed about how to properly navigate the road with cyclists present. Because most drivers do not have experience cycling on the road, there's a lack of understanding for the other side. So cyclists are just like, drivers are and they don't understand that we ride, we pedal, and we have 2 wheels and not 4. They're probably looking at us like we're aliens. I mean, they can't even understand the concept of a bicycle. I doubt it. Drivers, however, say cyclists act like they own the road, refusing to abide by the rules and often slow down all the other drivers. You know what I say to that? Point to the drivers. Is that not true? How many times have you been like, you know, like just waiting, whatever, and there's a guy out there. His ass is all up. Have you seen that video of like the chick, the foamy ass? And people are like, it's normal. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen foamy ass before in my life, even if it is normal.
A lot of comments are saying that's hot.
Oh, that forbidden sea foam.
Does this annoy anyone else? Get off the road or cycle faster.
You ever take a turn and you just see a cyclist and you're like, here we go. You know what I mean?
All the time.
I wish that sometimes there was purge rules and I got to just like, maybe not tap the brake and maybe just kind of hammer the accelerator down a bit and just see what happens. It's purge day.
Well, there's nothing worse than being in a tractor with a trailer on the back and being stuck behind one of these buggers going up a hill.
Buddy, you can take the tractor around them. At the same time though, you can't be the cyclist and hear like a giant tractor behind you and just be like, this is obnoxious, the amount of bicycles there are. How the f do you get into a place in your life where you're like, gonna meet the guys at a local coffee spot and just see if we can't do 12 miles today? A gang of bicyclists, and they all have the same like nylon fiber outfits with their f***ing alien helmets for wind resistance. You know what I mean? They would argue that the lack of cycling education leads to a lack of arm signaling. Obeying traffic lights, taking up multiple lanes, and blocking cars. Here's the solution. Run them over. Put the credits to the video. It's done. Kill every cyclist. That's my deal. If you ride a bicycle, you deserve to die. That's the video. This disconnect has led to a long-standing hatred that can sometimes result in irrational hostility and violence. I think it might be rational. But let's get into a little viral clip you may have seen recently. It tickled me to no end. A little tickle me Elmo kind of action. It was Gary Peacock and Pierce Kimpton in a viral video. 74-year-old cyclist Gary Peacock took matters into his own hands by detaining 22-year-old driver Pierce Kimpton. A cyclist did a citizen's arrest. Father Time got off of his bicycle and performed a fucking citizen arrest on a 22-year-old. Peacock claimed that Kempton nearly hit him with his car trying to pass him on the road. When Kempton parks his car to skateboard with his friend, he finds that Peacock has followed him to give him a piece of his mind. He's just like, you son of a bitch, and cycles after him. In the video, Kempton speaks to Peacock from inside his car, claiming that he gave the cyclist enough room. Peacock then aggressively opens the car door and fights to keep it against Pierce.
I've got a very aggressive teenager here that almost hit me in the car.
When Kempton tries to get out, he is held back and told he's not leaving until police show up and demand they give him a ticket. He tells Kempton, quote,
"If I have it my way, you're going to jail."
Which, you know, I just want to say, I would understand getting a little spooked, you know, somewhere like, holy shit, whatever, but to then be like, you motherfucker, and like to be angry, that whole like to follow him and then still just be like, you're going to jail. A bit of an overreaction. Nothing happened. Right? Eventually, the police arrive to break up the confrontation. The officer quickly decides that not only will Kempton be fined $130 for being too close to the cyclist on the road, but Peacock will also receive a $160 fine for disorderly conduct.
Why am I getting, for what?
Because you were aggressive to him.
Peacock insists that he should have a right to detain someone until police arrive. The officer lectures him like a child and tells him that he's being too aggressive to the child. You're 74, he's 22. What are you thinking?
Criminal citation?
Yes. Yes. Because that behavior is criminal. You don't get to act like that to people.
Peacock gets riled up, frantically trying to explain that he no longer wants to press charges now, that it means he has to get a citation. But it's too late. The officer is fed up. What did this solve? Nothing. Both people got in trouble. I don't like that.
The cop says, I'm giving you this fine, but once the court sees the footage, it's going to go away.
Oh, okay, so he's just like, you know what? I'm going to give you this because this geriatric old is driving me insane, but don't worry. I just want to bring this point up because I have made it very clear that my rage for cyclists knows no bound. And I'm going to try to give you some facts and mostly opinions, on why you should share the same hatred too. I'm angry, and you should be too! Drivers may have irrational anger towards cyclists, but how can you not want to pick on people like this, dude? People say, oh, you're talking, but you look like that. Oh, really? Well, do I look like this? Yeah, I don't, all right? I'm not a big advocate for judging people with how they look, but if you're a cyclist and you wear those goofy-ass outfits, I think it's free game. Is it not? I have to do it. I must. See, this is the problem, dude. This is the fucking problem. People get so bought into dumb hobbies and everything else, they have to make it their entire identity, especially when it comes to, and I'll say it, dude, as a fat piece of shit, people who make like some kind of working out their entire identity, worst people. It's the same way I look at people making like, I don't know, a show. Remember when The Office was a whole thing and that became people's identities was The Office, or like Harry Potter, anime? It's the same stuff. The athletes or people that do these things hold the notion over that it's like, yeah, I don't think I could really live without it, and I'm just a lot healthier because of it. Does that make sense? Is that a good?
So you're saying you don't like people who commit their life to sports?
That's not what I said. You can commit your life to a sport. I have more respect for you if you can. I'm saying when you make it your personality. The people wearing the alien helmet, nylon fiber outfits, and they're going on a trail ride, and they're not competing. Who was that for? Other than for you to be like, I'm a part of the clan. I'm a part of the tribe. If that doesn't make any sense, don't keep it in the video. I'm just saying my gripes. In 1992, a man named Carlson was fed up with how aggressive cyclists were treated. It was common to have insults hurled at you, and in some cases, even being bumped on the road. Good citizen. He decided to take to the streets alongside a giant group of cyclists to ride home, using the strength in numbers to force cars to let them have the road. This is what became known as critical mass. But what exactly is critical mass? Critical mass became a long-standing monthly cycling event where hundreds of cyclists would gather and flood the streets. It was essentially a party that traveled in a group across the city. Are you on my side yet? A petty group of 100 cyclists, 100 baristas getting together and being like, we're gonna go throughout the whole street. All of them. I don't care. During rush hour. People just work 9 hours. I don't care. Gotta get my cardio in. And they have to suffer. It took place on the last Friday of every month. The last Friday of every month! You have to rearrange your plans for the cyclist in the city, okay? The main goal of critical mass is to essentially send a message to drivers that the streets belong to more than just them. Because of this, part of the event is to irritate drivers for being selfish and for not sharing the space. By being selfish and being a petty piece of shit who has to dress in the nylon thing with the alien helmet and ride around with their gay friends. Keep the gay in. I'm saying gay is not cool, not homosexual, Nick. This is likely because there was no proper accommodating infrastructure to allow cyclists to travel safely alongside traffic. Probably because when people were building cities, they never thought, God, there's gonna be freaks roaming the streets on 2 wheels, riding around. Everyone else in the world is in cars. Anything for bikes, that person was probably stoned to death. Anybody back in the day who was like, what about bikes? What about bicycles? They probably took one of those, like, the stone slings and they're like, you know what I mean? Whoosh. It was common for them to completely take over the road, getting in the way of any driver who happened to be near them. So petty. Like a guy's just driving, they're just like, ooh, I'm turning! I'm turning! They even created their own move called corking, which is when you and other cyclists purposely cut off intersections to allow the swarm to push through safely and uninterrupted. Corking! My God, there's even a diagram of how it's done. I want to reiterate, I don't care if you ride bicycles. If a guy's like, sure, man, I'll go. Like mountain biking or whatever, you know how hard that must be? Insane. Imagine a guy's like, sure, yeah, I love riding. Yeah, that's cool. Where are we going? Downtown. Have you corked yet? Critical mass is no longer practiced as much today, except for a few cities here and there like San Francisco, where it originated from. That's odd. Probably Portland. While this event had a clear purpose, it likely caused several unknowing drivers encountering it to further deepen their personal hatred of cyclists.
Oh shit.
Way to go. Yeah, exactly. This is where some serious hatred, especially whenever you are driving home, to be inconvenienced in any way on your drive home from work. That's where some real shit starts, dude. That's where real hatred starts. And one of the major reasons it's not here anymore was the 1997 critical mass disaster. The bigger the critical mass became, the longer that drivers had to sit and wait when they eventually blocked their intersection. This resulted in the hatred of cyclists to grow bigger and bigger. This all came to a head in 1997 during critical mass, when around 5,000 cyclists began their usual monthly ride. 5,000. San Francisco police approved this and created an approved route that they would be allowed to travel on, strongly urging them to use it. They're like, you know what? 5,000 freaks on bikes. Sure. Alien helmets, your suits, whatever else you want to have, leotards, foams, whatever else you guys want to have, just use this route, please, would you, please? But they opposed to this, and it was decided that the police would attempt to fully shut down the event. This led to thousands of cyclists breaking off into groups, essentially swarming the entire city and creating hours of widespread traffic in an attempt to avoid being herded by the police. If you are not a cyclist hater, how are you still not by now? Drivers and cyclists were at each other's throats. People were screaming, throwing things, and spitting at each other. Hundreds of cyclists were being arrested, some in brutal fashion. Love that. Love this. Man, I wish we had some B-roll. I wish we had from this event just a guy with a billy club just being like, stop it! Dragging a guy off his like mongoose bike. Just hitting his shins real hard. Is that wrong? Is that too much?
No.
While it was incredibly dangerous and chaotic, it actually pushed the city to create bike lanes and help cyclists share the space with drivers. If this was a form of protest, it definitely succeeded. That's why I have zero respect for San Francisco. The 3 main reasons I hate San Francisco: 1, the Giants; 2, the Golden Gate Bridge. Too many people jump off of it. Just figure that out. 3, they really help push bicycle lanes. And for that, I think that the city should be burned to the ground. Thank you. And good night. Okay. Or we can talk about something cool like in 2011, when a critical mass event in Brazil ended in tragedy as a driver drove his car through a massive group of cyclists. You push people to the brink, Nick. You push them to the edge. This man responsible was a 47-year-old man named Ricardo Nice, who was fed up of being held up by the group. He claimed that nearby participants were threatening to flip over his car and that he sped away from them in an act of self-defense. Another cyclist who witnessed the event claimed that Ricardo simply wanted to get past them and that he was in fact the person dishing out threats. I'm gonna go on a limb here and definitely say Ricardo was probably in his car and he's just like, fucking move! And after he didn't respond, he's like, good. He just, you know what I mean? 16 people were caught in the crash and many were left with severe injuries. Luckily, nobody died. I will say at the beginning of the video, I don't condone this. I know I'm joking around a lot, but I want to say that the way that they were, it was too much of a leisurely stroll. If it was another thing too, if it was like they're really going at it, they're going fast, I think it'd be a different thing. It just seems like complete and utter protest of like, we're gonna take our time, right?
That's what it is. It's always a protest.
Why do I feel like you have a bicycle?
No.
I could definitely see you being a cyclist, dude. That's f***ed up. Or we could talk about when a furious driver bit a cyclist's ear. Now we're getting to the part of the video that I like. In 2009, a driver named Curtis Cross from Indiana got into a heated exchange with Jeffrey Guffey, a cyclist. The alternation ended with Curtis biting off a chunk of his earlobe. God damn! Curtis had been driving fast on the road in his pickup truck when Jeffrey yelled at him to slow down. Already, dude, cyclist, don't act brave. If you have a guy from Indiana in a like double F-250, slow down, asshole. You better believe them brake lights are coming on. You know what I mean? After being flipped off, Curtis abruptly parked his truck and charged towards Jeffries. Just grabbed him. What started as a fight between the two ramped up fast. According to Jeffrey, he struck him to the ground and proceeded to bite his ear off and spit the chunks out directly in his face. Awesome. Curtis' lawyer claimed it was self-defense and his use of force was justified. Well, you know. Curtis was ultimately released from jail with a $3,200 bond. Curtis looks like a guy that would bite somebody's ear off.
Have you ever rid your bike and someone got mad at you?
No, because I am on a bike. If I was ever in someone's way, I'd be like, oh, sorry about that. Or in 2007, police arrested 34-year-old Yonan Inouye after he stabbed a driver during a heated fit of rage. In the middle of a busy intersection, a male driver cut off Yonan as he was cycling beside him. Enraged, he caught up to the car and began a verbal confrontation. When both of them stopped to argue, Yonan suddenly pulled out a screwdriver and began to stab the man in the neck and face through the window. He was charged with aggravated assault and assault causing bodily harm. The victim was sent to the hospital with injuries that, while severe, were not life-threatening.
Got stabbed in the f***ing neck and
got stabbed in the 6 or 7 times, and he's just like, I'm good, I'm fine. In 2008, 2 people were brutally injured after an irritated driver was fed up with driving alongside cyclists in a city. Don't blame him. Christopher Thompson, a surgeon, he's even a doctor, Nick. He's a doctor, a learned man. Thompson was sick and tired of sharing the road with cyclists in his home, going so far as to tell police later on that he wanted to, quote, teach them a lesson. This is a learned man, a surgeon, all right? How many years of medical school he had to go through to be in this? Do you think he's level-headed? I think he is. No, I think he is. To do this, he purposely passed the 2 of them in his car before slamming on the brakes. He brake checked him. This caused Ron to slam his face onto the back window, resulting in breaking his front teeth and nose, as well as slashing his face. Christian, however, had his shoulders separated, and he tumbled onto the road. How sick would it be if he got out of his car, though, and he gave him his surgeon thing? He's like, I can clear that up for you. Puts it in his pocket. In an attempt to gain sympathy, Thompson assured the judge that he was merely frightened by the cyclists and wanted photos of their suspicious behavior. I agree. He's a learned man, Nick. Don't act, Nick. You look very confused.
I
was afraid too. I've been afraid of cyclists. It makes sense to me. I think he's gonna get out of this okay. This was not received well. He had already been convicted of an aggressive encounter with 2 other cyclists only days prior. Poor guy had hate in his heart, bloodshed. In 2010, he cried his eyes out as he apologized to the 2 cyclists before being sentenced to 5 years in prison. I think it's a bit steep for bicyclists, really. Hopefully no one needs a surgeon for their heart. Or in 2022, Mark Gringle had an altercation with an insane driver that ended up with him in a wheelchair. In Ravensdale, Washington, Gringle was training for an Ironman triathlon. While cycling on the road, a car sped past him and just barely rammed into him. And Gringle admits to flipping off the man as he flew by, and the driver reacted by parking his car to prepare for an altercation. If you ever feel wronged in your life, it's okay. You don't need to flip anybody off, especially if you're, I'm not to be sexist, or anything, if you're a woman and you like flip off a crazy guy, you have no idea. You have no idea what could happen. Happened to my wife. I was so upset when she's like, yeah, a guy ran past and I flipped him off. A guy just like ran into her, it broke off the fucking front bumper of her car and he drove away. We never even knew who he was. If you're ever just slided, bury it deep and yell something in your head, but just let it slide. You never know where someone's at with teetering on the verge of insanity. You could have a guy, you could flip somebody off, he just gets out and beats you to death with a pipe. Just let it be, dude. Let kids have their, because they're like, hey, I win. But then they have to go home to their pathetic life inside their own mental prison. So who really wins? Gringle began panicking and tried to pass by the car quickly. As he attempted to, he was brutally assaulted to the point of losing consciousness. Wait, so what is that? What does that mean? He's like, oh, he get grabbed? What happened? His pelvis, collarbone, and ribs were broken. My God, his lung was punctured as well. Just let people just go. My God. He was bound to a wheelchair for several months. He stayed hopeful that he would recover sooner and be able to cycle once again, but the man responsible for the hit and run was nowhere to be found. Dang it. Darn it. I hate that. I'm sure they'll find him one day. Or in 2024, 2 cyclists were chased down and shot at during a charity event. Cyclists took part in a 16-mile ride to end hunger charity event.
What
a 16-mile ride to end hunger.
I think by the end of this, there's going to be a lot of full bellies. Let's go, guys.
Which angered 66-year-old David Earl Buston. He was fed up with the cyclist taking up room on the road, getting in the way. He quickly swerved around them, attempting to force them off the road. Instead of going on about his day, he decided to get back at them for inconveniencing him. Buston parked his car and loaded a Winchester Model 1300 shotgun. He shot 3 rounds toward the passing cyclist and missed every shot. He was found by police and taken into custody, later being charged with first-degree assault and reckless endangerment. What a fucking dipshit. How can you be that angry? Like, don't get me wrong, I hate cyclists, don't get me wrong, but you pull over and just be like, I'm gonna kill him. And then you go about, you miss every shot. What are you, a fucking moron? My God. And lastly, in 2017, cyclist John Weisenberger was nearly run over by an enraged driver after confrontation on the road. 55-year-old Matthew Engel had turned onto the street to find Jan taking up the center of the lane. Furious, Engel pulls up next to him and begins screaming at him. After a heated back and forth, Engel drives past him only to put the car in reverse and attempt to run the man over. As Jan tells him he's on camera, the enraged driver screams that he's going to get his shotgun and shoot his head off before driving away.
You're on camera. You're on camera. You're on camera. You're on camera, motherfucker. Come here.
That's the opposite reaction. You're on camera. Cool. I'm gonna murder you on camera. Matthew Engel has been charged with reckless driving and declines to comment on what took place that day. He was risking facing up to 90 days in prison for his violent actions. He was thrown out after Engel proved to be taking anger management classes. Wow. So he's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And the judge is just like, it's fine. He's taking anger management classes. He didn't really do it, did he? Here's the thing. Drivers and cyclists have been in an ongoing feud for a very long time. And it seems silly to put blame on one side or the other, which we will. Cyclist. The truth is that there are asshole drivers and there are asshole cyclists out there. And both groups need to be more active in effort to try to share the road with each other. I think personally, you need a new hobby, okay? A 4-ton vehicle is gonna beat a 120-pound man on a bicycle. Whatever happened to mountain biking, right? Whatever happened to trails? Now we have to do it, like, dude, I have to get my fix in around my neighborhood. 5 p.m. I got up real early for my coffee job. I don't know why I keep bringing the barista thing. I think it's just because the guy that hit the side of my wife's car, I'm pretty sure he was a barista. He had like a coffee house shirt thing on, whatever.
Had a Starbucks apron on.
Definitely, there's no way they'd be Starbucks. It has to be some local thing where a cup of coffee costs $9, etc., etc. All I know is this: cyclists are one of the more annoying, I don't know, subsects of people out there, right? You have gym people who can be annoying in gyms and try to be the alpha in situations, but when it comes to people getting in full-fledged assaults, you know, people shooting guns at each other, granted all those are the car drivers, but I think it's more so it's just the idea of feeling like you're going to inconvenience someone just because you're on a bike. You need to share the road on either side, right? So this is what I gotta say. If anything, this has became more of a road rage video. I would say if at the end of the day, if you feel like somebody slighted you, swallow that pride. Going home and relaxing, hey, give it 10 minutes, you're gonna feel totally fine. Don't ruin the rest of your life over a second of anger that pushes you to do something that you're probably gonna regret for the rest of your life. And also, run over every cyclist you see on the road. All I gotta say is that's my video for today. If you get on a bike, be careful out there. Take it easy.
All right, Goober. Let go of my camera, Goober. Let go of my camera, Goober. Get that out of my face. Don't touch my camera, Goober. Get that out of my face. I don't think so. I'll leave it right there, Goober. All right, Goober. Nice outfit, too. Yeah, you wish you could work as hard as I can. Right.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in and sitting down because today we are talking about landlords. A good portion of you just cried. You threw up. Maybe you pissed your pants a little bit. But we're also going to talk about some, maybe a little nasty tenants, little parasites called squatters. Some people look at those as freedom fighters. Landlords and squatters, two groups that are constantly at odds with each other, even more than cyclists and car drivers. Not to dig off that pile of worms, right? But a squatter, for people who don't know, is essentially someone who occupies a piece of land that doesn't belong to them. In the process, they can utilize squatters' rights and attempt to permanently take over the property for themselves.
Hello, sir. You're delusional. You cannot do anything because the police said they will investigate it within a week so they will come back to us. As far as that, you have to leave.
Pretty funny if, you know, the landlord is like a slumlord and he's a dickhead. Not so funny if you're just like, this is just some extra revenue for me. This is my grandma's house. Please don't live here. Squatters' rights state that these people may be able to take over a piece of property through adverse possession. They can legally own a property given that they live there for an extended period of time, upkeep the property, pay taxes, as well as many other stipulations. There are benefits to these laws, like allowing unused properties not to be wasted, especially today, where everyone is encouraged to buy up as much property as you possibly can to get rich, right? That's where the slumlords come from. People price gouging and raising stuff out, gentrification and pushing people out of areas. At least this way, if it's a shitty building and someone wants to live there, let them live there, dude. Kicking out a squatter can end up becoming a stressful and lengthy legal process. For some landlords that have multiple properties, this drives them banana sandwich.
In 6 months, you haven't paid rent. It's my house.
But that's not to say that we should feel bad for all landlords. God, we should feel bad for barely any landlords, because many of them are downright evil.
A new report shows how much rent prices increased across Los Angeles.
The housing crisis has long been an issue in Los Angeles thanks to expensive rent.
In the wake of two of the most destructive fires in state history, a spike in rent gouging across LA County.
Even this year, it was discovered that LA property owners began spiking up their rent to take advantage of desperate people who just had their homes destroyed in the wildfires. You like that? But landlords have also begun to take to the internet and become influencers themselves, landlord influencers.
This is what 14,000 is going to get you in San Antonio, Texas. It's a speed tour, so let's take a look. Here we go. We see the big, beautiful yellow door right there. I don't know why they made it yellow, but they did.
Or on TikTok, it's called #PropertyTalk. Nowadays, there are tons of landlord influencers that give us a peek into their day-to-day lives while flexing their wealth and pushing their online courses, because as we know from our boy Andy Elliott, if you're a rich man, you have to put it in a package that people can buy on how they can become a rich man.
I thought about buying one and then realized that's how they make their money.
That's how they become wealthy, is because there's people that I'll teach you the secrets, when really there's probably like a 12-year-old kid from Illinois who uploaded a video that broke down, you know, like how owning property works or something. But ultimately, they want to sell you the idea that you need to buy tons of property and become a landlord to live a good life, to have that secure passive income life, right?
Here's what it takes to have $10,000 a month in passive income. You know, everybody's spoiled. I've been in business for 31 years. I started with interest rates at 10 and 12%. So literally at 4%, and people are complaining now at 6%, you guys are spoiled.
Let the properties work for you. That's what a lot of them say. When this career started taking off, the first thing people were saying is, you gotta get property. You gotta invest into property. Which, instead of just being like, why don't you just invest into a home for yourself? They were like, why don't you go in on an apartment complex? And I'm like, what the well, I know about doing that. A lot of these people, all of these people that participate in this kind of content are absolute garbage scum. Like my boy Samuel Leeds, a landlord influencer who makes videos like this one where he giddily explains how you can convert multiple rooms in a house, including bathrooms, mind you, into bedrooms in order to hike up the prices astronomically.
This was a bathroom. This was a bathroom. She ripped it out and put a bed in it.
You ever walk into a 2-bedroom house and you're just like, this is a studio apartment? My boy Samuel Leeds disagrees. Check this one out.
Right now, I'm standing in Huddersfield. These houses, they rent out for about £1,000 a month. Big houses. However, my friend JL Spoon, how you doing?
Hi.
We met 6 years ago. I've been mentoring her.
God damn, Sam, you are out of breath. I've been mentoring her. Trying to do more.
Living in a council flat?
Yes, I was.
In and out of hostels?
Now I'm a property millionaire.
Now she's a property millionaire. How? Because she doesn't get £1,000 for this house. She recently bought this house and is renting it out for how?
God, Samuel is just also disgusting. He looks like he's made of butter. Doesn't he? This is the kind of guy that I just want to see a video of him, like just some guy, it could be anybody, just takes like a metal bat and just hits him over the back of the head, and he's just blind. And he would still talk. He's like, okay, so I'm blind. That doesn't mean that I can't go out and convert these rooms.
I was looking at a house, technically like 6 bedrooms, but 3 of them were in the basement. But they couldn't call them bedrooms because the ceiling was too short.
Yeah, because it would be like a hobbit was living there. Yeah, I've had to rent a house like that before. Like, it's 3 bedrooms, and me and my wife were all excited because we're like, oh, like we can each have like our bedroom, and then you'll have like a little art room and I'll have an art room. And then we like went downstairs and I was like, this is depressing. And she was like, oh, I'm shorter than you. And I'm like, I don't want you to be down here in this hobbit hole. Other influencers will record themselves calling their tenants to reveal that they are massively raising their rent. In this case, from $1,200 to $2,200. Isn't that fun? Isn't that great? I love that I get to watch somebody do this and they're all giddy doing it.
You're currently rented for $1,100 in that house, and it's in Miami. It's a pretty low price in today's market.
Marcus. I wanted to see if you wanted to stay there.
Yeah, I was planning on staying. I don't want to move, and I have been here for over 10 years.
I would want you to stay, but we would have to raise it a little bit.
Okay, and?
There's houses in that area going for $2,500. You could take the lower end of $22,200.
Are you kidding me? That has to be a joke. $2,500. That's over double my current rent.
I like how also he's adding the emojis and he's like smiling while doing it, being like, she's like, I can't afford, I've been here 10 years. And he's like,
I'm already working 2 jobs as it is. Where do you want me to go now?
oh, poor bitch. Once again, dude. Ugh. So today I thought we'd look at some particularly wild squatting stories to maybe get the blood boiling in a nice way where you're just like, you know what? Yeah. Fuck 'em. Before diving into some of the most insane landlords you've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, right.
Get out of my face.
I'm not gonna move. This is my house.
Cool. This is harassment. Bye.
Oh.
I'm trying to, I don't know, I feel like, are we manipulating people by showing the squatters and then also being like, kill every landlord? I don't know. Both things are interesting. I particularly, if I owned a house and I was just like, yeah, you know what, I got another house and I found out that a dude was squatting there and he just gets to just take over my property, I don't think I'd enjoy that. But also giggling and calling people on the phone, having to raise your rent.
That guy should be squatted on.
That should be illegal. But first, before we get into the juicy landlord stuff, let's talk about squatter stories, which we could talk about a squatter who moved into a home and then sold it for £540,000. A squatter from London named Keith Best was doing a painting job in his neighborhood when he spotted a large, broken down, abandoned flat in East London in 1997. The house had belonged to Colin Curtis after it was given to him by his mother Doris when she died. Curtis eventually inherited another property and moved out in 1996, simply abandoning it without ever coming back to check on it. He's just like, I'm just gone. Which maybe that's how they do things, and they Keith slowly began his renovation, sinking £150,000 into the property out of pocket, despite not even owning it. He admitted in an adverse possession claim, but happened to do so only weeks after it was criminalized. The Curtis family discovered what he was doing, which began a lengthy legal battle over who owned the property. By the end, Keith had spent £400,000 in legal fees, as well as £245,000 to Doris's granddaughter as compensation. Okay, first off, where the f is he getting this money from? Because Doris was an old retired woman, Keith was under harsh ridicule. He told reporters, I've been portrayed as a thief who cheated an old man out of his home, but that's not true. The whole thing has been a nightmare. It affected me health. It cost me a lot of money. I never made anything from this, and it's being made out that I robbed a pensioner. I have not made a profit. The negative press led to him to losing his job while having to return to court 8 times after failing to settle the dispute with the family peacefully. The stress was so great, according to Keith, that it led to the mental decline and the eventual death to his mother. It killed me mom. She saw the effect it was having on me. It was awful. I regret the impact it had on my health, and I didn't make any money from this.
He keeps saying that.
He's like, it killed my mom, and I also didn't make a single dime. It was only in 2014 when the decision to criminalize adverse possession was overruled, and he was finally successful in gaining ownership. That motherfucker was in a 20-year battle. Curtis attempted a counterclaim, but failed and eventually died in 2018. Curtis couldn't even hold it. Keith recently sold the home for £540,000 and retired, now residing in a large home in Essex. I did not make a dime. Until now. Which also, $540,000 seems like he still didn't. I lost money on it. With the court fees and everything else, he just sold it. He's like, even Stevens. He's just waiting for Curtis to die. He's like, I'm gonna take it to the fucking grave. Or we could talk about a homeowner who was taken to jail. In 2024, a woman from Clayton County was arrested after her home was taken over by alleged squatters. A woman named Hale had one day discovered a woman named Sakamiya Johnson inside her home, but when she called the police, they refused to have her removed. Under the Georgia Squatter Reform Act, she did qualify as a squatter because she was related to the partner of a tenant who was recently evicted from the property. She even had a signed order that denied that she was a squatter. What followed was a several-month-long court case that eventually ended in Hale's favor 3 months later. However, she found herself in more trouble when it was time to reclaim her property. Hale planned to clean up the house now that it would soon belong to her, only to find that the locks were all broken. Soon, Sakamiya and a man she brought with her had forced their way into the home. When cops arrived, they deemed Hale's action as an illegal eviction since she was forcibly removing items that belonged to Sakamiya, even going as far to yell, "Leave before I get my gun." Because Hale had not yet received the proper documents to legally evict a tenant, she was charged with criminal trespassing and a misdemeanor count of terroristic threats. Hale was thrown into a police car and forced to stay the night in prison. Eventually, she was able to successfully reclaim her home.
You gotta be careful. My parents had squatters.
How long did they occupy the house for?
A couple months, because we were in California. Because the thing was the house was actually being foreclosed on. The foreclosure letter got sent to the tenants. and they opened the mail, which is illegal. So then they just decided, we're not going to pay.
Didn't you say that they like left the house in like absolute disgust?
That was a different tenant. My parents had like 3 houses.
Your parents are slumlords?
Yeah.
Today's video is sponsored by Hungry Root. Have you ever wanted a personal shopper for groceries or a nutritionist nearby telling you what to eat? I know I do. Well, now you can have both with Hungry Root. They make it super easy to eat high-quality, nutritious food and achieve your health goals. If you're looking for anti-inflammatory, gut-friendly, gluten-free, or dairy-free, all you gotta do is let Hungry Root know, and they will fill your cart with personalized recommendations that only get better with time. They ask you a bunch of questions like, what do you like to eat? How much do you like to spend per week? And then they can begin recommending things that fit your life. Because when you're trying to eat healthy, it can be easy to know what to leave out, but sometimes it's just as hard to find what you should be eating. That's why I'm using Hungry Root to help me steer me towards meals that will keep me on my health goals. Hungry Root has over 15,000 recipes to share, so there's something for everyone. Plus, all of Hungry Root's recipes can be made in just 15 minutes or less. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Click the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use code PAPAMEAT. That's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com with code PAPAMEAT.
Thank you, Hungry Root, for sponsoring the video. Back to the video.
Now let's take a look at one of the most historic cases of squatting, which took place in 1969 in London. Didn't know so many London cases here, huh? A group of organized hippies created the London Street Common after taking over a 100-room mansion at 114 Piccadilly in London's West End. It happened during a time of radical politics fueled by a decade of rock and anti-establishment sentiment. And on top of this, there was a housing shortage after World War II that made it incredibly hard to find shelter. Many of the remaining buildings were left vacant by property owners waiting for its development value to increase. Bunch of broken buildings from the war, and they're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave it. And then whenever it actually starts to spike, that's when I'll start renovating it, and then it'll be worth however much more. The group's reasoning behind this act was to show the world that the city doesn't get to just belong to the rich people in power. Unfortunate, because yeah, it does. I mean, that's just... The group stormed the building, put up barricades, and even installed a homemade drawbridge over a dry moat in order to keep unwanted visitors at bay. It was renamed Hippie Dilly. Honestly, dude, creating a drawbridge is sick. I want a drawbridge. What do I have to do to get a drawbridge in my life, dude? Probably can't be that hard to make nowadays, right? You're not a big, crazy one, but just like a little... some chain to get some Home Depot or something. Hordes of hippies, drug dealers, runaways, and more began living in the building. It was so populated that they had to host house meetings and give people jobs, like contacting local restaurants and catering companies that were sympathetic to their cause because they need food to also feed all of these people. Basically became a homeless shelter is what it became. The place became a media sensation to the point where some celebrities would show up, take pictures, and attempt to be seen as hip. Yeah, Mick Jagger with his giant mansion.
Oi, you guys are really giving it to him, eh?
Many were outraged by their actions, and protesters began chanting things like, "Monkeys get back to the zoo." Those who tried to get into the property were met by members of Hell's Angels, who aided them with security to return for housing.
Hell's Angels is in Britain?
I guess, dude. I don't know if they fly over with their motorcycles. I like to imagine they're on the inside the plane. We gotta help them, man. They refused to comply with eviction notices, and it only took 3 weeks before the entire mansion was raided by police officers. They gained access by having a few officers trick the security into thinking they wanted to help an ill pregnant woman inside. Classic ruse. Only to send in 200 more officers. There's a pregnant lady in there who needs help. Oh, really? Hippies started chucking iron bars, wooden planks, and other items around the house at the officers, but it was all shut down fairly quickly. There were a few arrests, but a majority of the residents left without pushback. They're just like, just get out of here. Just bloody well get out of this home. This event ignited a squatters movement that continued for many, many years, falling into the 70s, probably the 80s, y'all. But then we have landlords. Let's just say landlords, yes, they price gouge. There's a lack of human empathy that goes into the business of that. But we can also talk about a landlord who gave its tenants lead poisoning. Yeah. In 2024, pretty recently, a property management company named Lemoore rented out apartments in Brooklyn, New York that led to young children getting lead poisoning. Tenants were interested in the property after being lied to about the conditions. Fast forward to when they moved in, and tenants were met with leaks, mold, rodent infestations, elevated levels of lead from the paint, mold again, and water leaks. The pictures are disgusting. And in the end, 130 young children tested positive for elevated blood lead levels since 2012. Apparently, this is one of the many cases where the company had screwed its tenants over with their living conditions, reaching housing violations of over 30,000 people. In court, they were forced to pay $6.5 million in settlements, a relief that is considered historic for a case of this kind. $3 million of that settlement would go directly to the tenants impacted by the poor living conditions. So that's nice. At least there's something, at least it ends on a relatively healthy note. I will say, to be in this position where you're just like, okay, fine, I'll sign the lease, I'll go do, we'll live here, and to show up and you're just like, well, I mean, I can't afford anything else. Tragic, man. Especially in a beautiful country like this. How the hell could that happen?
In a beautiful city like New York.
A beautiful, super clean city like New York. Brooklyn, New York, mind you. Let's start talking about some of the tenants, y'all. This headline is supposed to be, I think, shocking, but at the same time, after all we've read so far, it makes me just be like, sweet. Tenant takes revenge, blows up apartment. It's cool if no one else gets hurt. Otherwise, that's a bit of an overreaction. In 2022, a man in his 30s was due to be evicted by his landlord. He knew it was coming. He was so infuriated about it that he purposely set up a gas explosion to blow up his apartment. Scratch what I said. Scratch what I said about it's cool if no one else gets hurt. I was just kidding about that, okay? The entire roof was blown off the building, sending debris down the street and causing neighbors to be evacuated. Nobody was injured, and the man is now in custody. All right, never mind. Don't do that. I feel like I should really clarify. I'm joshing, all right? Or we could talk about the tenant who was living in the cellar of a building dies in a fire. In 2019, a 32-year-old man named Philip Sheridan died in a fire that spread throughout his converted basement in Leeds. It was discovered that Humraz Shahid, the landlord, did little to keep the property suitable for human habitation. The cellar only had one entrance with a faulty handle that was already partly blocked by a stove. You have to jiggle it. You have to jiggle it. It's like, I can't. He's like, sorry, my new stove is here. I don't want to move. There was no fire alarm or smoke detector either down there. I like how he set it up and he couldn't even bother. You'll smell the smoke. You'll wake up and run. It'll be fine. The source of the fire that killed Philip was the stove itself, so he had to run through the fire just to save himself. He ended up suffering severe burns all over his body before falling to the floor outside of the building, passing away after a short time in the hospital. It was clear that everything that happened was 100% avoidable, and Shahid was arrested and given a 13-month prison sentence. That's it? 13 months? A year? They're like, a little over a year, Shahid. 13 months. What of the Weber grill? What happened with my Weber stove? Like, it burnt up. Just put a bullet to my head. Or we can talk about my boy Daniel Ohib Shalom. There's no way I'm saying, is that how you say that?
Daniel Ohib Shalom.
It is in New York City, maybe. Ohib Shalom? I do not think I'm saying that right. Daniel Ohib Shalom is infamously known as one of the worst landlords in New York City for years of neglect given to his properties.
Daniel Ohib Shalom's apartments are notorious for deplorable conditions.
He already has a reputation. Daniel Ohib Shalom, they're just like, don't stay at his place, whatever you do. It was so bad that he was given jail time after accruing 700 plus housing violations on top of harassing tenants constantly. I hate this motherfucker. He would refuse to make repairs to the point that the doors no longer had working locks and the walls themselves were falling apart. And you can see some of the photos here. I like how he's just like, I'm not gonna repair it, and we're raising the rent. They put a Chipotle down the block. I'm raising the rent. That's the kind of landlord I want to be. I saw a Chick-fil-A, a Raising Cane's, and a Chipotle. We're raising the rent. There's a Costco 2 miles away. I saw your Honda Civic pull in. I know you're gonna drive that while raising the rent. It was believed that the landlords wanted to create living conditions horrible enough to force everyone to leave so that he could renovate and sell the buildings at a higher value. Is that fun? Did you like that? If you don't like it, leave. You know what he's going to do to sell it for a higher value? He's going to go to Home Depot and be like, what's the cheapest sink? And they're like, that one? He's like, I'll take like 12 of them.
Do the landlord special, baby.
Landlord special. Paint it over. There's cracks in the wall. All right, it's good to go. One man recounts the condition, stating, quote, imagine waking up in the middle of the night with smoke throughout the building and the smell of burning oil because of a boiler that was never maintained. Imagine fighting cancer and not having heat and water.
They would withdraw the rent straight out of our bank account every month, but then we get no heat for 5 days
every week. 3 days with heat, the rest of the time no heat, no hot water.
He's like, there's a new Thai curry place open on the block. We're raising the rent. The bodega on the corner just became organic. We're raising the rent. You can now buy organic Doritos from the bodega and a boarhead sandwich. We're raising the rent. To avoid getting caught and forced to fix his building's many problems, he would forge documents regarding proof of upkeep and even listed other associates of ownership documents so it couldn't be tied back to him. What a greasy little man. I like how he's just like, I crafted this thing with AI and I signed it, and I also signed it in my dead niece's name, so people will never know that it was me. I'm Daniel. I am raising the rent. According to a DA, there was an instance in which the ceiling was so damaged that it collapsed and injured a small child.
Suddenly I heard him scream, and when I went into the room, the ceiling had collapsed over him. And thankfully, you know, it wasn't a major injury, but I mean, it hit his head.
It just fell on a child, and he's just like, were you jumping around? Is this because I raised the rent? He was then sent back to prison a second time to serve 60-day sentence after he failed to complete repairs at 2 properties that were ordered by the courts. Dude, just fix the property. Actual slumlord behavior. I don't have it. Well, if I have to repair it, I'm raising the rent. When the man was sent to jail, residents of 2 of his Washington Heights buildings rallied together to push the city to let them own the property as a tenant-owned co-op. That'd be really funny. You're gonna let them live in this wasp nest? All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when they have to raise the rent. And then it turns into a different story when we become a landowner, all right? They received tons of support from city council members, and a conversation began about helping to set up proper financing for renovations, as well as giving them community ownership of the building. News came out that he was punched in the face soon after being arrested, which was applauded by all the tenants. And just a little cherry on top, he got arrested and someone just beat the hell out of him, and everyone's just like, yeah! He's like, so what am I gonna do? My hands are tied. I only have 700 other buildings in New York City. Okay. All right. So this is we're all officially barbarians now. The Mongolians have come back, and this is now China. It's like, what are you talking about, Daniel? Yeah, the guy next to him is just like, stop your crying. My stove. And they're in the same prison cell. Just kill me in my sleep. Daniel's like, I'll buy you a new stove. Oh, you, Daniel Oshalo.
Did you have any really bad landlords?
Yeah, dude. I think that there's ethical ways of also just being like, I have to raise it. Property values going up to meet demands with whatever. I need to make my end too. Maybe there isn't an ethical way of being a landlord. I don't know. Especially whenever I was living in like lower income housing and stuff. Those are always the worst, at least in my experience. And then you would have to put down this huge deposit for cleaning, and you never got it back. At the beginning, when you move into an apartment, you take pictures of all the stuff where you're like, hey, there's this, so you don't get charged with that end. At the end, the woman sent back the pictures that we took at the beginning of our stay that was cleaned and that was clean, and said, oh, well, these are the things that we have to clean, so you're not getting your deposit back. And we were like, that's the pictures we took 12 months ago. And they're just like, shot, and they just ghosted us. And what can you do? And at the end of the day, you have to like live with it, just being like, well, there goes like a $300 to $500 deposit or whatever. And I think that's where they get you too, because they're just like, once again, I'm talking on my ass, but I would say like 90% of people don't get their deposit back easily. Like, it's just some shit where it's like, well, the blinds are messed up. It's like, those are $30 blinds on top of a fucking $1,200 deposit or whatever the fuck it is. But, you know, landlords can be creeps. So let's talk about some creepy landlords, such as a landlord who hides cameras in the women's room. That's got to happen everywhere. That's got to be such a common thing. That's also why, if I stay in a hotel and stuff, I'll put like bags in front of outlets, like little stuff like that, where I've seen in shows where it's like, oh, there's a camera there. I've seen so much stuff. I'm just creeped out by it. How creepy is it? Not that I give a shit about anybody really seeing like my tiny pig cock or anything like that, but I'm just like, just weird feeling like somebody's like taking that video and they're doing whatever with it.
Just watching you.
Yeah, hawking loogies in my hand and going to town on my cock, and then ordering DoorDash, not washing my hands and eating Subway. That can't get out there. In 2025, Edgar Ramirez Dijadio, a landlord from Palm Beach County, was arrested after he hid a camera on the ceiling of an apartment he was renting out to a female tenant. What did I tell you, dude? Probably in the fire alarm. I bet you anything. She had only been living there for a few days before her boyfriend noticed her bright green light coming out of the device on the ceiling. He's like, have you not noticed this? It's a smoke alarm. It means it's good. It's healthy in here. He brought it up to Edgar, who claimed it was a device that strengthened the Wi-Fi signal. Suspicious. She asked him to cover it with a piece of tape. He ended up just using a small piece to cover up just the blinking light part. She thought something strange was going on and removed the device to find that there was an SD card inside of it that stored various photos of her in the room. The man was charged with digital voyeurism with a bond set to $7,500. I like to leave up these pictures for a second just to be like, I don't know if you're ever in Palm Beach and he's like, hey, you want to come check out that deal? Be like, I think I'm going to pass. Also, what's creepy about that too, how many people has he done this to? How many times do these landlords, they're like, they show you the place, they're all nice, and they're just like, you get to use the restroom, just in there. And they just have people come in, you know? He's like, I gotta get my fix before the next person comes in. Just right back there. Ooh, there's no toilet paper, I'll go run get some. Just sit there and wait. Just sit there and wait.
That's how they decide who they're gonna rent it out.
Yeah, but whoever takes the smelliest shit, he's like, those are gonna be some juicy pics. Or we can talk about a landlord who stole some tenants' lingerie. Just seeing the picture of him immediately. Like how he's just like, I just don't know what I did wrong. That's what his face looks like. Oh, it smelled good. Is it a crime for things to smell good? It's like, no, it's a crime that you stole it, you fucking creep. He's like, okay, news to my ears, man. In 2021, a 45-year-old landlord from Ohio named Ivan Rock was accused of illegal and disgusting behavior by one of his female tenants. According to the victim, she had seen Rock's behavior shift to become more aggressive and menacing over time. Jesus. At one point, she had returned to her home to find him sleeping on her couch naked.
It was an accident.
Oh, this isn't my house. Darn it. She returned home to find that Ivan had come into her place to leave her brand new lingerie as well as condoms for her. Eventually, he wanted her out of the house, calling her to say that he already packed all of her belongings. She came home and noticed that she was missing a digital camera as well as a pair of lingerie.
The one he gave.
Yeah, I'm sorry I took back my gift, dude. The unappreciated gift. She told police that she became terrified of the man to the point of committing to leave out of fear for what he might do next. After talking to the police, Rock was arrested on charges of menacing and petty theft charges, and his bond was set to $2,500. What about the naked incident? Okay, so there's no oopsie daisies, okay. That's all he got charged for, was just being like, you took some of her panties, Rock. Admit it. He's like, okay. Well, so it was on her couch naked. They're like, shh. We didn't hear that part. All right, now here's $2,500 bail bond, Rock. Thank you. In any case, the issue between squatters and landlord is a complex one that I will not get involved in. I'm not opening that can of worms. I'm not doing it. Death to every landlord. There are extreme cases, sure, but in reality, most people just want a roof over their heads and just a place to stay and feel safe and not be price gouged. So if you do have to be a landlord and be one of these people that are just like, I have to raise the rent, at least make the places bearable to live in. Don't be putting cameras in there and stealing lingerie, showing up naked to your tenant's house, that kind of thing. That I feel like that's at least enough of a hand. Okay, fine. And also give people back their deposits. Give the deposits back. I have to get a cleaning guy in here, and I mean, it's gonna take him he's gonna be here all day. She's like, there's one bedroom. Yeah, but it's probably gonna cost $1,700. Probably. Never mind. Fuck it. Kill your landlords. I'll see you next time. Oh, man. What the
Who is it?
We got a letter from the HOA.
Oh, HOA? What does that mean?
It's the Homeowners Association, Winslow. How do we have one all the way out here? We're in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere. God damn it.
Wait, Hunter.
What?
I want to tell you something. Come over here.
I'm not gonna, why do I have to, just tell me?
Come on, come over here, please.
Whatever, I'll just do it later. I'll just come back down later.
No, wait! I just want some screen time.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? Come on and sit on down, because today we're talking about 3 letters that I hate combined together. I'm of course talking about HOA. Let me tell you something. Owning a home is something most people hope to accomplish as they reach their adult years. There's something freeing about having your own piece of property, where you have more say in creating a comfortable space to live in, right? However, many future homeowners may not realize that they don't have as much freedom as they may think. A significant number of communities in the U.S. are overseen by something called the HOA. Or the Homeowners Association. The HOA is run by a board of directors that enforce rules for all residents that own property within the community to follow, right? So your neighborhood has some fucking goon council that sits around, and there's the people who are like, your fence can't be that high. And some of their goals include maintaining the upkeep, the safety, and property value of a neighborhood while also providing amenities for homeowners and aiding in resolving resident disputes, right? It's basically daycare. If you're in a HOA, you're in a daycare. daycare. Hey, listen, your car's a bit loud. You coming? Can you just slow it down? And can you also just, come on. You're being a bit loud. It's that kind of stuff.
Cut your grass.
Yeah. So actually, you left your trash cans out in your driveway. That's a fine. I can't leave my trash cans in my driveway. It makes the neighborhood look bad. Kill yourself.
You left your 50-foot skeleton out.
So you left your giant Costco skeleton out for 6 months and you accrued quite a fine. In order to do this, they often collect quarterly, monthly, or annual fees. That's right. You get to pay for someone to treat you like a child. And when they are being operated as they were intended, it can result in great things for an individual community, right? However, there are countless examples, if not almost every example, of HOAs that have terrorized residents, often power tripping on the perceived superiority they receive from the board that they are on. So today, let's talk about the dark side of the Homeowners Association. Ooh. They're like a ghost.
Ohio, Guaysma!
Is that wrong? Listen! Gamer Subs is branching out, evolving. Yes, we've had Gamer Subs, the delicious, nutritious energy drink we have raw meat with. Then they even have V-Card, the game! But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking it a step further. We have collabed with Gamer Subs on our own ramen flavor, Meat Sweats. Beautiful, hot, spicy chicken flavor, noodle in the cup ramen. It's delicious. Actually, we got to do some flavor tests and kind of test these out and kind of see which ones were the best for us and which one that we were happy to put our name on. And look at this. I even got to draw the label. What's that? Ooh,
Spicy, tongue on top. Owie, fire.
310 calories. Meal replacement. So please go to Gamer Subs, pick up some ramen today, and use promo code PAPAMeat at checkout to get 10% off the whole goddamn order. Thank you so much, Gamer Subs, or should I say Gamer Soups. And we'll get back to the video. And you're probably wondering this. This is probably the glaring question off the top of everybody's mind. Hunter, how do you feel about HOAs, right? What I got to say is, you know what? Don't like them. Controversial opinion, said no one. The HOA is necessary for, if a guy, which you couldn't even do this anyway, I was gonna say, just paints a swastika on his house. The police would be called. They can't do that. This is honestly what I think. If you're in a neighborhood you like and you're like, this is nice, I'm gonna keep my house nice where I can sell it one day and the value of it is only going to increase, but the guy next door painted his house in polka dots and no one wants to live next to the fucking polka dot house. I understand the frustration there. At the same time, if I just spent $350,000 on a house, it should be my God-given right to paint the motherfucker in polka dots. No one should tell me. Also, no one should tell me how tall I want my fence is to cut my fucking lawn. Is it annoying to look at? Boo-hoo, bitch, is what I would say. Or if I was that distraught, honestly, I'd just be like, what could I do? I'm not saying that I advocate for people being slobs, because I don't. I'm just saying that, there's got to be a better way besides everyone is affected by rules because of, some bad eggs. That's what I gotta say. And also, I do think HOAs are just a huge pain in the ass. They can be expensive at times. If you live in a really nice neighborhood, those fees, those monthly fees, it's crazy. Bananas.
In Texas, I think we're paying $150 for HOA fees.
It's insane. But first, how do people feel about homeowners associations? Residents often complain about the rigid set of rules around the HOA's ability to limit modifications to your house. Even though you own your home, that doesn't mean you are allowed to paint it whatever color you want. The HOA won't approve it because they want the neighborhood to have a similar color scheme. And these types of regulations surrounding your home's visual appeal can impact all sorts of things, like how short you can cut your grass, what type of fence you can build, what flowers you can plant in your yard, and much, much more, which I think is stupid. And the entire idea is just because it's it just keeps the value up. Where it's am I not gonna live here for 25 years?
I'm flipping this baby.
Listen, buddy, I'm flipping it. I'm a flipper, all right? These are investment properties, okay? So don't be painting your house fucking polka dots, all right? I'll come at you.
That's what I do. I'll buy you out. I'll buy you out to paint the house.
Yeah, exactly. The guy's like, no, I don't want to leave. I'm gonna buy you out. And this inevitably will result in some anger-inducing situations. Like with the father who had to tear down the treehouse he built for his child during the pandemic. Wouldn't you love that? Hey, buddy, I'm gonna build you a treehouse. Thanks, Dad, I love you. Yeah, so actually, no, you can't build a treehouse that's in your yard. To me, I'm like, dude, you. This is getting me riled up. I'm getting pissed. There's not even an HOA here. I don't have an HOA, luckily. I'm out in the fucking middle of nowhere, and I love it. I love it.
It's free.
The HOA will demand you to make changes to your home to fall in line with their guidelines, and a failure to do so will lead to fees you are required to pay. Seeing as other people are often forced to join HOAs to live in the community in the first place, you may think, what's the worst they can do? Well, the HOA has more power than you realize. In some instances, as late fees pile up, the HOA can pull a lien against your home, which is the right to keep possession of property belonging to another person until a debt owed by that person is discharged. They can basically be like, I own your house. Until you pay your stupid fucking fees, I can own your house. And it's some dickhead down the road who's just like, hey, I just got this cherry Firebird that I'm souping up. It's like, dude, jump off your house. That's what I want to say. Fuck them. Essentially, if you fail to pay your debt to the HOA, they can foreclose your home to pay it off on top of any legal fees.
The legal fees to sue you.
Yeah, the legal fees to sue you. And I understand this is a fail-safe scenario for people who are like, I'm not going to pay it, or they're being dicks. You want to be able to boot people out of a neighborhood if you have kids. Also, in some communities, don't you have to be approved to even get the house by the HOA?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I think there are actual neighborhoods where it's like, yeah, the HOA has to prove you.
They check your skin color.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a lot of HOAs. There are many other serious issues regarding HOAs, like some of them even still try to get away with racial segregation, the way it was commonly done in the 1960s. Even as recently as 2019, a Florida community discovered that a nearby neighborhood still had Caucasian-only restrictions. Of course, dude, those 85-year-olds.
I was going to say, yeah, the retirees.
Yeah, there's like fucking Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville on the corner, and like it's hidden behind some like floral, like fake toucans and read the sign, asshole! Because homeowner associations are run like micro-governments and have a considerable amount of power, it's easy to see how things can get out of hand easily in the wrong hands. Like, for example, when members of an HOA in Colorado called the police to try and shut down a child's lemonade stand due to it being an illegal business. I think everybody's kind of heard of this one, right? They're like, I'm trying to just sell lemonade, and the woman's like, phone shaking. Get out of here! Get out!
Well, the worst part is, I think the police had to fine him.
They did. Well, they're like, well, I mean, I guess sorry. What a pussy, dude. I'd be like, actually, ma'am, can you come here? And I'm like, I'm gonna shoot you in the chest if you don't go home right now. And my body cam footage is off. This is not even me joking around. I have a fucking Dodge Charger in my car. I will ram you off the fucking road. You can't say that to me. I'm like, I'm gonna bust your teeth out with my fucking gun. That's what I'd say. And then I'd go over and be like, do you guys take American Express? They're like, no. And I flip the fucking table. They are so widely mocked and criticized that there's an entire genre on sites like TikTok that focus on creating fake rage bait HOA confrontations.
The classic camera, yeah.
Yeah, the classic camera thing. We can put up a little video of it, but you've seen it before too.
This key is not working, and this is the master key to all the houses. Did you change the locks?
No.
If you did, that's a violation of HOA policy.
With that said, let's talk about some of the most obnoxious HOA stories, starting with the HOA forcing people to leave their garage doors up. In Auburn, California, their local HOA had supposedly discovered that one of the homeowners had someone living in their garage. It's the end of days. In response, they decided that the best course of action was to enforce a rule that stated that every resident would be required to leave their garage doors open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hey, can we make it as easy as possible for burglars to come to my house while I'm at work? Monday, like the one day and time that I'm gone for my job. Fucking idiots. Residents were infuriated by this because it meant that they ran the risk of bikes, wheelchairs, cars, and any other loose objects in their garage being stolen. Those who refused would have to pay a $200 fine, which is probably per day.
Yeah.
By the way, during the next HOA meeting, the neighborhood voiced their frustrations, causing them to back down from their new rule. I would be like, you know what? If you charge me, I'm going straight up. I'm not gonna say it.
Postal?
No, I was gonna do more beating people in the mouth and butt dusting. I'm too angry.
Yeah.
I'm heated. I'm heated because I will say, I don't know if this is a good spot to say it, but I had this one HOA one time. I was mowing my yard and the guy who was the director or whatever of the HOA lived behind me. I was mowing my yard and the guy came out and he's like, you know, you're not supposed to use gas mowers in this neighborhood, right?
Oof.
And I did. What? He's like, we're basically all Ryobi over here. And I was like, well, I don't have it. And he's like, okay, well, you should go get one. Annoying altercation, albeit whatever. Later on in the day, I get a fucking at my door, and then I hear off my steps, and the guy knocked my door, left an envelope, and like ran off. And it was a, I'm not even joking, it was a $550 fine.
What?
And I was like broke at the time. Fucking broke.
Where was this?
This was in Kansas City.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I sat there and he lives right behind me. So I like walk around. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, buddy, honestly, I hate to do it, but it's just if you let one person do it, everybody's gonna start doing it. I'm like, it's a gas lawnmower. It's fine. I was like, also, I'm like, how can I get the fucking mower if I have to pay this? He's like, listen, like I said, I hate to do. It's like it's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It'd always be like weird petty stuff like that. Anyways, I hate HOA so much.
Yeah, that's horse.
But if you thought that HOA decision was stupid, that's only the beginning. Let's talk about the $250 Gatorade bottle violation. Rachel, a mother on TikTok.
Mom talk.
Mom talk. Play a clip. Rachel, a mother on TikTok, voiced her frustrations about an absurd encounter with a HOA in her small community. After a grease fire got out of hand, their microwave exploded and burned down their entire home. Days later, after firefighters had to put out the fire, they moved the charred microwave onto the front lawn for the purpose of being collected at a later date by the city of Houston. Even with the home completely destroyed, they were sent a letter from the HOA to their non-existent home stating that they must pay $250 for leaving the microwave out on the yard.
In the time that that microwave was sitting there, we got a notarized letter to that address that was literally burned and a fine for $250 from our HOA.
Of course, she refused to pay and got them to retract the fine. But later on, as workers were coming in and out of the home to slowly rebuild it, someone had left an empty Gatorade bottle on top of their fence railing, which is the most common thing at any job site. You're gonna have like wrappers and bottles. It is what it is. They're fucking slobs. Sorry. They're also there for 9 hours. They probably forget about it. It was left there for 1 day on the charred ruins of this rebuilding of a home. And the HOA decided to take a picture and include it in a certified letter given to Rachel. In it, she received a notice of another $250 fine just for a single bottle. Nick, what world are we living in?
Just one.
Yeah, you're like, actually, I think it's kind of cool. Is it wrong to not like that or what?
Okay, first you have the microwave, they retracted it, but then a Gatorade bottle, come on.
The audacity too. Well, you know what happened is that that somebody on that HOA board was like, it was her fault for burning it down anyways. And now she's got to dirty up the whole fucking neighborhood because of it.
Or they're saying, God, that's an eyesore. The charred. We can't find them.
It's some fucking old dude like walking his dog and he's just like, God damn it, I lived here too long to have to put up with this. Burnt down house, woman's crying in her front yard. Ah! And he's just like, she's an ugly crier, too.
I thought the story was they were going to fine her for burning her house down.
I bet you there had to have been talks about it. Can we fine her for the burning of the house? I do like how it's a grease fire that got out of hand. We're cooking french fries and just shit went wild. I cut up a couple spuds and threw them in the deep fryer. Whoa! That fire snowballed. I couldn't stop it. Now, $250 is bad. $250 to get smacked with, that's a fucking bummer. But that pales in comparison to some of the other HOA horror stories, like the woman who almost faced jail time over a purple playground. Was going to prison for a purple playground. Oh God, Jesus Christ, here we go again. A family in Lee Summit was terrified after being hit with various threats from the homeowners association regarding the playground in their backyard. Their backyard, that no one else can really see, behind their home, not even the front of the home. Marla and her husband had built it for their kids from scratch, finishing it off with a purple tinted wood stain. The kids were overjoyed. However, the HOA did not approve of the color. They were given a notice and a fine. The family contested it and won, but the HOA would not let up. 1 year later, they were given a letter explaining that if they did not take down the playground within a couple weeks, they could expect to see some jail time. Sorry. They found that they were not breaking any rules and even went to door asking residents to confirm that the swing set was not obstructing their view or bothering them. A petition was signed and the other residents began demanding the HOA to not pursue a lawsuit. But they denied the plea and filed the suit anyway, feeling that the playground needed to be within harmony with the other colors of the community. That's a quote. The family won the case and the purple swing set stayed in their yard.
It's like not even that bad.
I don't think it's that bad now. I mean, I'm looking at it now and I'm like, it's a fucking purple swing set, dude. And also, kids are playing on it.
They would hate our channel colors.
Yeah, they're just like, I do not approve. I do not approve of those colors. Ooh, almost threw up a little bit. If you thought threatening to send a woman to jail over the color of a playground was a bit excessive, just wait until you hear about the man who was fined for giving away free water during a heat wave. It's like that Curb Your Enthusiasm bit.
It is illegal for anyone in the state of Georgia to provide food or water to voters in line at the polls.
But you can't do. Oh no, you're making a big mistake.
I'm sorry, baby, I forgot.
In 2024, a heat wave hit Arizona residents with record-breaking temperatures. David Marth, a good Samaritan living in Goodyear, helped out neighbors by leaving out a cooler filled with ice cold water for all the people enduring the heat. Hey, if you were passing by and walking down the street, grab yourself a nice thing of water. On me. I'm the one who has the Costco membership, Kirkland Water for All. His local HOA were angered by this, saying that community rules are against advertising and giving out water bottles from a cooler that's visible to other residents in the driveway. Buddy, listen, you can't be promoting free water. That's against policy. Essentially, the cooler and the sign cannot be visible when he distributes the water because they need the neighborhood to look visually consistent. I like how it's like you can hand out the water, but we cannot see. I cannot take a look at that cooler. Get that cooler away from me! Because of the weird rule, he was fined $50 a month, and this ramped up to $100 a month after it seemed that David wasn't giving up. Soon enough, the fees reached $475 a month! Obviously, residents couldn't care less about visual clutter of a single cooler being put in someone's driveway. And in fact, many of them were vocally supporting his decision to do so because, I don't know, it's hot and it's free water. Apparently, this was something that David had been doing for years. That is, until the HOA suddenly decided it had to be stopped. For some reason, this time, it's just one guy. We don't know who it is. Some nosy neighbor, dude.
Oh, you know what? He probably, for years, he's been trying to get on the HOA board, and he finally got it.
Trying to get on the HOA board, but also it's one of those things where it's like, I bet you anything David had like a killer cookout, and that motherfucker never got invited. So as soon as he, yeah, exactly, he's like peeking over the fence. Looking at his bratwurst and stuff. Oh, it smells good. Like, yeah, yep. Not inviting him over at all. And then finally, when he gets a taste of power, he had to throw himself on it, dude. He had to enforce those rules immediately on my boy David. But out of protest, David refused to back down and refused to pay any of the fines, despite neighbors offering money to cover it. In an interview with a local Arizona news station, yes, this made the news, he simply stated, quote, just come get a bottle of water. Chill. How sick is that?
And have a bratwurst.
And have a fucking bratwurst. You know who you are. You know you're not invited. The guy's like, has like a glass of scotch in his house. He's like, David, do you need anything else, master? Sometimes HOAs can greenlight fees that are incredibly cruel, despite insane financial toll it can take on residents. Like when an HOA surprised a homeowner with a $15,000 fee.
What do you think justifies that high of a fee before you...
The only thing I can think that justifies a $15,000 fee is one, you like destroy someone else's property, something like that. Like if you painted a giant on your house or something weird where it's like painting your house polka dots, is it annoying? Yes, but at the same time, do I think it really devalues your home? I don't know. I really don't think it does. But that kind of stuff, I think that legitimately, like, you're just hurting everyone.
Yeah.
Not only is it super offensive, but like you're actually fucking with our money now too.
Yeah.
Which I don't know which one's worse. A TikToker named Britton Brody posted a video where she detailed a horrific situation going on in her community in Orlando, Florida. My ass is never retiring down there, dude.
You don't want to go to...
No, I don't want to go to Florida. That shithole. Back in 2022, she had bought a condo at the age of 21, and part of her fees on top of her mortgage was a $315 HOA fee. That's what I'm saying. Is that fucking ridiculous? Oh, so you have to pay this, and don't forget that. It's like buying an apartment, unless you're in New York, makes no sense. Because then you have to pay building maintenance fees. Yeah. At one point, a company had approached the owners in that neighborhood about buying their homes from them to convert into apartment buildings. Soon after they reject this offer, a new board of directors came in and increased the HOA fees for every resident. I wonder if he's in on this business scheme as well. For Brittany, her fee jumped up to $414, and soon after, it raised to $651 a month. That should legitimately be illegal.
That's something them trying to kick them out, right?
Well, they're trying to strong arm them to be like, you're not being kicked out, we're buying your property. It's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Eventually, a letter came in that explained that there will be a vote on May 15th to decide on a life-changing new measure. Essentially, after the Surfside condo collapse of 2021, a new mandate was passed requiring condo boards to have fully funded reserves to cover any potential costs like maintenance, repairs, and more. To raise these funds, the HOA would ask for a special assessment fee, asking for a range of, $11,000 to $22,000 per owner, depending on the property. And for Brittany, this meant her 810 square foot home required $15,000 in fees.
What?
This is the kind of person where I'm like, if hell is real, you are going to hell. Like there's no, it's Owners were shocked, obviously, especially after finding out that half of the fee would have to be paid 2 months later.
I don't know where I personally would come up with the money. Like, I have a full-time job, I work 40 hours a week, but I do not make enough money to have that much money saved up.
With the other half being due 1 month after that. So basically you have 2 months to scrounge up $7,500. And then next month you gotta pay the other half. You're cool for that, right? You living in this 810 square foot duplex. You're good for that? Okay, cool, just making sure. At this point, the community came together and created a ballot with the goal of voting to recall the current board of directors to replace them with actual residents. Why that wasn't done in the first place, I will never know. They also hired an attorney to help look into the situation. The word had gotten out, with her TikTok going viral and local news stations picking up her story, and in the end, the board was fully replaced with people who had an actual interest in looking out for the residents and raising money in a way that wouldn't financially cripple everyone in the community.
Happy ending.
You know what's, and I'm saying this to you, I have no idea. You know for a fact too that those old board of directors, bunch of old people.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the it is with old people wanting to hoard gold before they. What are you gonna do with it?
Sleep on it.
You might make a little bet out of it. Might be nice. My bed's made of cash. Smother with her $100 bill pillow. I don't understand when people are like, some 76-year-old guy, I have 148 properties. Sell them. You're gonna die. You're gonna die soon. It's real soon.
Generational wealth.
It's probably because somebody looks at them and they're like, you're old. You're a fucking parasite. You're a leech on our family. You're a leech on our family. You're a waste of space. You smell bad. You should just die. Lay down and die. If you're old, just lay down and die.
Jeez.
That's me talking to those board of directors. You know what? Fuck it, all old people. Lay down and die. If we want to take a look at another woman who was hit with an exorbitant fee from the HOA, we could talk about the old woman who was forced to pay $17,000 in fines. Sorry, we just stepped it up $2,000. In 2020, an elderly woman from Georgia named Pat Kramer was in a panic after receiving absurd letters from the HOA. Just a guy down the street sending her dick pics.
Oh, send more.
Yeah, please send more. I horny. Goddamn, Pat. Look at you. Your lips are sitting there slobbering all over the driveway, Pat. Look at you. Sorry. That's what we call a super soaker, Pat. Send her a Polaroid of her cock. She'll be happy for hours. Ooh. There's no way. Jesus. After living in her neighborhood for 13 years with no issues, a new management company took over and started endlessly targeting her with huge violations and fees. It was me. I was like, how old is she? All right, stack it up and get her out. It started with her trash cans being visible. That irks me the most, dude. Which is hard for her to move frequently because of her age, because she's older than Father Time itself. Next, it was the way her hose looked in her yard, as well as the lawn art. She probably had little gnomes. They're like, write up a ticket. They started asking her to deep clean the outside of her property. She obliged each time to keep things civil, but the late fees started to pile up when she was not able to get jobs done fast enough because she's so old. I can't scrub faster. Here's your Polaroid picture of my cock. Ooh! God damn it. Well, no wonder you're getting distracted. Your lips keep drooling all over the yard there. Sorry, I just am easily distracted. Logan from behind. Be gentle. You have to put the gnomes up. Not the gnomes! The daily $25 infraction fee began to pile up, and Pat Kramer was panicking as she tried to make calls to her HOA to slow down the fees as she completed the request. I can only clean and mow so fast. You gotta stop. They're like, never. Hang up. They wouldn't return her calls after an entire year. Please call me back. Who is it? Pat Kramer? No, I'm good. Which, here's the thing, guys. The fees racked up to a staggering $17,000. How many years went by when they were just put it on her tab? We're gonna get Pat out of here. We're gonna cripple Pat before she dies. We're gonna cripple this pup before she goes down. Which, a price that Kramer could not financially afford. She hired a lawyer who soon gave her the bad news that the HOA is completely within her right to treat her this way. So she had, did she pay it?
It sounds like
I was like, she's like, I don't have enough money. I'll pay you a lawyer. It's all I have. He's just like, you're
and here's my lawyer fees.
And then also I did work for 28 hours on this at $300 an hour. You do that math as well. Oh, no! It's like, don't worry, though. I did include a Polaroid of my cock. Oh! Everyone's like, I wish Pat would get the hell out of here, actually. The whole community's tired of Pat. Sometimes even the most minor infractions can lead homeowners down a road of crippling debt. Like with the $40,000 fence violation. God damn, we really are just raising these, aren't we, huh?
Yeah.
15 to 17, now 40? Betty Hooker.
Ooh.
That's not her name. My name's Betty Hooker. What do you think my job is? It's right, I teach social studies. Betty Hooker wanted to construct a fence in the backyard in her Maryland home back in 2017, which would cost $8,000. She received all proper permissions from her HOA before building it, ladies and gentlemen. When it was done, she was told that the fence was too close to the community's common area. They had come down and measured it out, determining that it was exactly 8 inches too close. It's so obnoxious. You see it sometimes with like HOA people like actually bring out rulers. Betty Hooker, are you in cahoots with Pat Kramer? No! Betty thought that this was absurd, and likely the dispute was more about enforcing silly rules over obstructing common community zones. The HOA wasn't going to let this go, however, and months later, after notifying her that they would seek legal action if nothing is done about the fence, Betty wanted them to pay for it, and the lengthy dispute resulted in an official complaint to the county court by the HOA. Betty was certain that the judge would understand how silly this was, right? But she actually ended up losing and was being forced to pay a daily $25 fee that would start from back when the violation was first brought up. What? Yeah. Huh? Well, I like how she's like, this old man's gonna know what's up. He's like, it's 8 inches too... Guilty! She finally moved the fence to avoid further problems, but the HOA inspected it and told her it was still not following their guidelines. They took Betty right back to court, where she was ordered to pay an even more exorbitant fee on top of her attorney fees, totaling $40,000. I would kill myself in the cul-de-sac of my neighborhood if this happened to me. I would take a gun and blow my brains out and make everybody watch. Especially if people are like, I don't care. But 8 inches to the community. I'm like, who cares? Is it on her property? Yeah, who cares, dude? If it was going into other people's yards, I'd be like, well, that's f***ed up. That's not your property. 8 inches to the, I can't, sorry.
8 inches is huge.
Oh, trust me, 8 inches is huge. Like sizes that probably people don't really ever see. Maybe in videos, but not in real life. Betty told reporters about her feelings at the moment. God, who cares, dude? She's like, I feel bad. Yeah, everyone does, dude. Have you heard of Pat Kramer, the Polaroid hound of Florida? And Betty was claiming it was, quote, devastating, mentally, emotionally, and financially. But it didn't stop there, because the HOA wanted to seize her home to pay for the debts. The issue with the fence was becoming more and more trivial. The fence itself only had less than an inch encroaching into the community's common area. Less than an inch. See, that's more normal, though. Yeah, that's normal size. Yeah.
Not small, normal.
Not small, I'm just saying normal size, normal. Fortunately, the HOA had broken rules as well. The rule in their governing document claims that the fines were improperly assessed in an abusive way and that the homeowners were not given proper due process. Because of this, the fees were all dropped.
Thank God.
Yes! Betty Hooker had quite the ending, unlike our girl Pat Kramer.
No,
Pat had to pay that. You think you can drop mine? F*** off, Pat, and pay it. Okay. In one of the more cruel examples of the HOA's disregard for homeowners, a soldier in Iraq had his home taken away from him. Probably why he was in Iraq.
And his wife, too.
They took away the wife, too?
No, just making it. He probably lost his house and wife.
Michael Clower, who was a captain in the Army Reserve in Iraq, returned home in Frisco, Texas, to find that his $300,000 home had gone into foreclosure. His wife May took care of the 2 kids while her husband was shipped out to Iraq and soon slipped into a deep depression. She was terrified of losing her husband, to the point where she avoided checking the mail in fear of getting news of his death. Because of this, she had missed the HOA's letter alerting them that they had $800 in dues that needed to be paid. Oh God, God forbid. Yeah, so actually you owe us that. So if you don't, we're going to kill you and your family. We're Al-Qaeda. The HOA, we're terrorists. When this was ignored, the HOA started sending letters informing that they were getting ready to foreclose on the debt by seizing and selling their home. The worst part was the home was only sold for a measly $3,500, as it was just a vehicle for them to get back the small debt that they were owed. May was shocked that the HOA never once visited the home in person to get a response from her, and that her home could just be sold without her getting, not a penny from it. They worked with the lawyer to try and reverse this foreclosure based on the fact that the affidavit from the HOA's lawyer did not account for Michael's deployment. They had also set up a legal defense fund and eventually sued the association in federal court. They were awarded a generous settlement and were able to finally reclaim their home. You know what? Americans truly won that day, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Our man went over, paid his dues, and he paid his dues back in the States as well. God bless you, sir. Also, we should do Stolen Valor sometime, just for fun.
We're working on that.
Yeah, just for fun. I just want to do it for fun.
Oh, you mean? Oh,
yeah. I just want to. We should just go out into the library and do Stolen Valor.
I do that every weekend.
Okay, well, I'm going to join you then. And lastly, I want to talk about a hero. I want to talk about the man who killed his HOA president. And his wife. He's not a hero. I take that back. Hugh Hootman is a 75-year-old man that was infuriated due to a simple dispute between him and his neighbors. Apparently, the community laundry room door was left open. Oh my God! 81-year-old Henry Wallace, another resident, confronted Hootman about it and began screaming at him and his wife. Later on, Hootman saw Wallace while he was grabbing his mail from the community mailbox. There, he approached Wallace and told him that he needed to apologize the way he treated the two of them. Wallace brushed it off without responding, and that caused Hootman to lose his cool. He pulled out his 9mm pistol and shot him 2 times in the chest. Okay. I'm just gonna laugh at it, sir. It's just so stupid. You apologize to me right now. No. Right, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to justify why I laughed. His wife, Ginger Wallace, was also the HOA president. Rushed out of the apartment screaming for help. Ah! Hootman fired 2 more shots at Ginger, killing her as well. And afterwards, he simply took a seat on the couch of his apartment and told his wife, quote, "Call the police. I just shot Henry and Ginger." He turned on King of Queens. The sheriff believed that Ginger being the HOA president played a role in the confrontation and only further pushed Hootman to do what he did. He felt horrible for what he had done. No, he didn't. But it was too late. He was given 2 consecutive life sentences. Listen, here's the thing, y'all. HOAs, I don't like them. Respecting your neighborhood, that's something I can get behind. A neighborhood is a great community place. Being friends with your neighbors, right? I remember when I was growing up making friends in my neighborhood, it was one of the best times of my life. And I'm glad that I got to do it. I live out in the country now. But neighborhoods are communities. You need to have respect for them. But at the same time, we need to figure out some kind of different methods besides the HOA. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that I have the answers, but all I know is that this is fucked. This is absolutely fucked. So please, if you're on an HOA board, be kind. And also, why don't you try being fucking human, you reptilian pieces of shit. Seriously, I'm advocating this. This is not a joke, and I don't want if there's a prompt on the screen, they're fucking lying. I want you to say right now that if you know where your HOA is at, the director, the leader of the HOA in your neighborhood, eat some like rotten meat, get diarrhea, and that's what they deserve. Sorry, you signed up for the job.
Oh, you came back! Thank goodness! Here, come quick. I have something to tell you.
Winslow,
Hunter doesn't want you to know who did 9/11.
Hey, wait.
I know who it is.
Wait, no.